Like on a Saturday morning. Good evening. It's 8 o'clock. It's Friday night. It's time for Transformers the Show.
May I have your attention, please? This is the captain of your ship! I'm sorry. We found this away! You left me broken hearted! But I never loved you anyway. No, I never loved you anyway. No, I never loved you anyway. No, I never loved you anyway.
Good evening and welcome. As you can see, Paul's not here with us, unfortunately, tonight. He's away on holiday, so I'm afraid you've been left with just myself, Andy. We've got Jamie, who, of course, is here every week, as always, or Storm, as we know him. Alexis is here, but he's not currently with us, but he will be dipping in and out because, you know, it's Alexis. And because it takes more than just one human being to replace Paul, we've got in two of the finest British Transformers YouTubers that money can buy, not that we're paying them. So we have Xortrider, Rich, who's with us, and thank you for coming.
Thanks.
And he gave away.
Thanks for having us on. There you are.
I'll do. That's all. He's not talking. We're not paying him.
Mr. Tight Bastard.
Well, we're going to get to that. And then we also have exillionXLR, or as we call him, Brad. So
Spatially,
I am only like one half a human anyway. So
yeah, but you're
I'm
enough of
one
a
and a
human
half,
being.
so it's still two.
You're enough of a human being, Brad, that my wife has already commented on how much she likes the Welsh accent suddenly since last weekend. Bizarre.
have I got a Welsh accent?
Bizarre. Anyway,
No,
right,
I think
so,
she was saying you're very attractive, actually.
oh, thank you.
I think Andy heard that. He has got a nice accent, and she's like, no, that's not what I said. He's like,
Yeah, we'll just gloss
attractive.
over that for now. We'll gloss over that.
His
right,
accent is good. No, that's
We
not
have
what I'm saying,
got-
Andy.
we have got all our stop it. We have got all our regulars mostly tonight. We are going to be doing the news, of course. We are also going to be doing our regular pickups. We are going to have a Rohan's corner will of course be around. We're then going to do this. We'll change the order around a little bit. So we're going to do the discussion first because the discussion is actually going to be about TFNation, which happened last weekend and which we were all lucky enough to be able to attend. And then we'll finish off with our TFNation pickups as well, because that's the good stuff, isn't it? That's the stuff you want to see that you got from TFN. And some of us bought so many things that they're just doing like a top 5, I believe. Isn't that right, Rich?
Yeah, that's
All right, unless the wife's watching, you can admit it on here. So I think we'll start, if that's all right with you guys, with the news.
I talk some TV, and now the news. Don't touch that dial.
And I have so many things open, I couldn't find the thing I wanted. There you go. So, right. So we always start with mainline news. So that's what we're going to start with. And this arguably is the big news. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but it was the reveal of a new core class Rumble figure. And of course, the big controversy, I suppose, is the fact that he is blue. So, any thoughts, guys, on the fact he's blue?
Is it really controversial because it's based on the movie and he was blue in the movie?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Although there's a cock-up, isn't there? The animation cock-up where both Rumble and Frenzy are black and red. So, you know, if people start arguing, Ed'll be doing his nut right now if he's in the live chat. He'll be
why is Rumble ever considered red? Was it the toy that was red? I should know.
Toy was black and red. Cartoon was blue.
You've got to go by cartoon. Rumble is blue.
Exactly. I agree as well. I think this looks really, really cool as well. The pile drivers and everything. You know,
does he cassette up as well?
He does cassette up.
I haven't. Does he fit in soundy?
He does. He does fit in soundy wave. Yeah. There's a bit of magic going on with the engineering apparently, and he's a little bit taller than the other cassette versions we got in.
Magic is what primitive people used to say when they didn't understand it.
Well, Rich does live in the Midlands, so hello to all our Midlands viewers out there.
Midlands magic. That's something.
So you can obviously change him. he can have his arms, and he can have his little weapons on his arms as well. So he does come with a few quite cool little accessories, and I think it looks good. I mean, I'd borderline say this is the best Rumble we've ever had, barring maybe Masterpiece style stuff and third-party stuff. I don't know, but
I think it probably is the best. I mean, I did see people moaning online about the fact that you can't put the guns in his hands.
Rich,
but then again,
people were moaning online about toys.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
on now, that doesn't sound likely.
But then again, these people probably never seen a real pair of breasts in their life. So it was like...
They should have come to TFN, Rich. Anyway, moving on. So there, we've got Rumble. We've also had more pictures of Slicer and Exosuit. I mean, I like the look of it, even though it's just a repainted wheeljack, essentially, isn't it? But I don't know. I mean, Jamie, you'll have this pre-ordered, right? You know, to go with your other shattered glass bits and pieces.
Yeah, he's got 5.
What's that? Sorry,
he's got 5.
5 pre-orders.
5 fingers. Isn't
I just thought, two for each mode. We'll have 2. I mean, it looks nice. I don't know.
That ain't the scale, is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
No,
that can't be right.
That's Traxman or whatever his name is from
Fast Track, was it?
Fast Track.
Yeah, it's the Fast Track mold, isn't it?
No, this Wheeljack's a short ass, isn't he?
Yeah.
I'm just looking.
This is obviously an Action Master repaint, isn't it? Well, he was an Action Master repaint, European exclusive. Am I right?
Yeah.
And he came with the extra.
Have you got it? As a kid, yeah, and it's lovely. I really want it for the actual figure, but I don't want to pay 50 quid for.
Is it 50 quid?
50 odd, 50, is it 52, something like that?
Fuck that. But I suppose it's 2 deluxes, isn't it, really? But at the same time, but the Energon one from a couple of years ago was that was sexy from Energon Downshift. That was a Bocon exclusive, and it's like 90 quid still. I was hoping this would bring the value down. I'm not talking about the news toys, sorry. Yeah, this one looks great.
Don't worry,
it looks great.
We're fine. We'll move on though. So, oh my god, that picture's gone tiny. Why has that picture gone so small? So this is the Legacy. Now, which version of Megatron is this again? This is
Transmetal 2, is it?
Transmetal 2, that's it. And I can't remember which one of the designers it is who's got it in hand, has been sharing some photos online. There's the bot mode. I mean, it looks good enough. It looks quite cool.
It's actually pretty awesome, to be honest. The colours look amazing.
Oh yeah,
I'm not knowing about the lack of chrome on this at all, because the original's just basically all chrome, isn't it? Because it's a transmetal. So has anyone kind of gone online? I'm sure someone has gone online.
Oh, somebody will.
There's no chrome.
Where is the chrome?
Yeah,
there'll be someone colouring it in with a chrome pen when you get it.
Yeah,
the entire thing.
I think some people were moaning about the size of it because is it Voyager or Deluxe size?
I'm used to people doing that about me.
It looks to me like it's pretty much pretty big. You know, it's definitely leader size.
It's leader price point, isn't it?
It's leader price point. There you go.
That one next to it, the Primal Prime. Is it Primal Prime?
Yeah,
that was quite big anyway, wasn't it? That was Power of the Primes massive times.
Did we ever get it in the UK? Or was that one that was skipped?
We did.
Because I don't remember seeing it at all.
I remember it being distributed, but I don't remember seeing it in the shops.
Yeah, Kapow and In Demand, amongst others, had it. I remember that, but like I say, I don't think it was ever mass retail over here. Yeah. But there's some nice shots of it there. It's definitely a good-looking bot, so that's going to be on its way.
I'm happy for the people who want it. It's
exactly.
not for me, but I'm happy that there's people out there, and I know there's people out there that want it, and that's great.
I'm happy as well, because I see all these comments about Beast Wars, and I'm not picking that.
Marcus is like, then I saw the dragon. It is a dragon, Marcus.
Visually looking at Internet over Wales. There we go. Right, and then.
It is, Andy. That is actually only 38 quid on Amazon if you want to pre-order it. If anyone's looking, it's cheap.
The dragon.
The dragon's only 38 quid on.
I'll get right on it, Rich. Anyway,
why they made a transformer of a dead Geonosian from episode 2?
That's the dream. We also had the Fallen leader class, the Fallen from Studio Series that's been revealed, and not long after it's been revealed, it has been reviewed already. For those who want to go and have a look, Prime versus Prime has reviewed it. But yeah, I think it looks good. It's really screen accurate, but I don't know. I don't think it's got the the kind of kitsch appeal that the actual Revenge of the Fallen original toy had, because I've got that one. And there also isn't the other problem, JB, you'll know this for certain, isn't the other problem that they've already confirmed this isn't getting released, certainly not to the independents over here?
Apparently it wasn't. Then it wasn't getting released in the UK, and then Hasbro UK managed to get some stock. Not much though. It was sold out quickly for Hasbro UK. You know, and I think that sometimes annoys the independents, because when they say no stock in the UK, they expect it means not even Hasbro UK gets any.
Yeah.
But Hasbro UK does get it, or Hasbro Pulse UK.
Well, there was a comment made on one of the independents put a comment on Facebook, and a post saying, we've been told we're not getting it, but that doesn't mean it's not going to appear on Hasbro Pulse, fairly soon.
Well,
and lo and behold,
I think I don't see it being really deceitful anymore, because now they've done it before a few times. So now it's just normal. It's to be expected. It's like, World War III, Will Germany do it again? Who knows? But, it's got a history to it. So
I'm just relieved that it isn't like a Thrust situation again. I know me and you, Brad, we went and bought Thrust, like paid through the nose for it just to get.
We did though.
Yeah, same here.
Did you see the Thrust at TFNation? I've just cut you off. Sorry.
That's all right, man. Yeah, I did. It was about 100 quid, weren't it? 100 quid.
Yeah, and there was a set of 3 for 200.
But yeah, I'm kind of relieved it's not one that I really want. I'm just sad for people who actually do want it, because I know there's people out there that do want it.
Yeah, I want it. Those who are trying to complete their studio series are going to be pissed. Let's be honest.
I mean, that contender looks awesome, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, the core class bomb burst,
class.
Looking good.
Is that what we're talking about?
Now they're all different scales now, because we've got Skullgrin at Deluxe, and we've got Iguanus and now Bomb Burst at core scale. So it's going to be a bit odd that we've got them all different scales. I mean, it might work, but it's just a bit strange.
Well, Mark said on that live stream. Sorry, I was just going to say, Mark said on that live stream for Hasbro Pulse, he was asked the specific question about why have we not got them as actual pretenders? And he just made some comment that seemed to allude to the fact that the cost of it was just too much, so they had to find a happy medium to be able to do it realistically. But I don't know. I don't make those big decisions at Hasbro, unfortunately. I also don't get paid the money they would get paid for. But the biggest news,
no sense. They could just put them in shells. They could use They could have just used the original clamshell and update.
Well, somebody said that in the stream. Somebody said, "Oh, well, maybe they could have just used the original shells," and then they were joking about that's an idea. Maybe whoever's in charge of these decisions have a look at that. But anyway, we also got
people wanted the original shell.
Oh, it's with some yes. Please smack at someone's ass, and that's it. Sorry.
So here's Crankcase, based off the Skids mold.
Sold out. About his guns. So his guns are both just peg ports, are they? That you can put things on.
The ones that are up his shoulders.
That's all right, you can put whatever you want on them.
It's to emulate the look rather than obviously recreate the same kind of.
Well, I didn't realize that. I mean, I heard some people talking about it, but that makes it look better, because at first it did look pretty bad.
Yeah, it was mistransformed apparently when the original photos, or at least the photo didn't show it properly. So again, I think I want to say this is from Mark or someone like that. It's from one of the designers themselves actually showing, no, look, these, it is here.
Did you see it? Did you see a tweet afterwards, Andy, about it's actually Crankcase, but he's been neutered. They just they just neutered him. They just cut his guns off.
Oh, it's a pity you have to go, Alexis. We'll see you next week.
I think I preferred it when we were. Oh, the standard of jokes start high. Anyway, he looks good. I mean, he does look good.
Yeah.
And you know, there's
happy with it, Andy.
I'm happy with it. I wasn't when I saw that first photo, like Jamie said. The first photo was a bit kind of a bit disappointing. And then actually, the more I've seen the photos come out, the more I've kind of thought, actually, that looks pretty fine. And it was the first one of that new wave that I was going to say I pre-ordered, but it was Claire that sat there and just which ones do you want again? She was on the websites already trying to pre-order.
Because you can order Crankcase from Hasbro Pulse.
No, that was a massive problem, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they only fixed it by the next morning.
It said to me, you've got too many crankcases in your basket.
I can't have enough.
There is no such thing.
I want 17.
No, I started to decrease from 31 to 30 to 20.
I get it. So it was Brad's fault. Anyway, Crankcase looking good. and I am excited for that. And it was also pointed out on some of the websites, some of the independent retailers like Kapow and In Demand, who said that it was due in December, whereas I think Pulse was saying January, but the independents were saying due December, likely earlier, because let's be honest, that's the way it is at the moment, isn't it? Due December, arriving tomorrow. That tends to be the way these pre-orders.
I think Smiths are saying that it's due in October.
Yeah,
I think.
October.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Legacy Dead End, who we have, I think, already seen, but it was featured on the live stream from Pulse. Does look nice. Just excuse me, that's just breakdown now that we haven't seen it, isn't it?
I think they hinted at that happening in PulseCon, didn't they? On the live stream. Yeah,
I think they did. And then we had Skullgrin that we've already mentioned.
And he's bigger. He's Voyager, you say?
No, he's deluxe. He's deluxe.
Yeah.
So
he hasn't got a lower jaw.
No, which is apparently a mistake, a common mistake when you look at the Pretender shell, that you can't see that if you look very closely, molded in is a lower jaw. It's supposed to be the bottom jaw of the mouth.
Because every time I see that, I always think of the ring. You know, was it the ring or was it the what do you call it? The other one, this
grudge.
The grudge, yeah, where this sort of person gets their jaw removed.
Oh yeah,
nice. I like the fact that they showed that with the head, the skull head actually can transform down so it fits inside the tank body. It's not because some people were thinking, oh, do you have to take it off given the size of it? How is that going to work? But no, it's a very clever transformation into.
I thought it would have a head underneath it. I really did.
It'd be really cool if some third party made Pretender shells and went, fuck you, Hasbro. You can imagine like a DNA.
Somebody's missing a trick though, because you could, and I think there'd be a lot of people would buy them. Then we had Point Blank and Peacemaker.
Yeah,
I always get their names mixed up because I always think of Pinpointer, who was the target master for Crosshairs, and I always want to say Pinpointer. But so again, there was a lot of moaning going on about the fact that the target master is literally like G1, like a G1 target master, the same articulation. And the explanation from Mark again from the live stream was basically, in order to be able to afford to include a target master at all, they basically had to be sacrifices made. So they were told you basically can't have articulation.
We know a third-party company is going to make one anyway.
Of course they are. I mean, there'll be
like 7 different ones.
Have you not seen? Have you not seen already for like the Hot Rod and Cup and Scourge and Cyclone? If you go onto like TF Safari, and for £12 or £15, you can buy a target master, like proper articulated target master for every target master that's been released so far.
Are you sure? Are you sure that's not the? Because I've seen the third party ones where it's like the vintage G1 target masters. They're not proper articulated. That's what the ones I think were getting sold in Dinobot Island, and they were from like.
When you're done, I'll share my if I share my screen, I'll just pull one up for say Hot Rod. Your favorite, sorry, Jamie, your favorite's Hot Rod, isn't he? Let me get Hot Rod up, and I'll show you what I mean very quickly on the screen at the end.
You could just share a message on Facebook. I believe you, man. You don't need to do it.
we'll let Alexis get his Hot Rod up, and we'll carry on. Then we have Laserbeak. So this is the Dark of the Moon Laserbeak from the scene where he transformed into like a mini-ish sized bumblebee to talk to that. It was really disturbing when he talked to that lass. He was on a swing in the garden or something. He's like, "Is your daddy home?"
And then everyone died. Hasn't this been done before? This has been done in Japan before, hasn't it, with the deluxe bumblebee mold?
Yeah, they've done it with the deluxe.
Yes.
Yeah, they've recolored pink to recreate that. But this is a core class. I'm sure they said it was core class.
Yeah, it looks like
it looked core class. And then, of course, we already know about Ratchet, which some people, I think, have already got in hand. Is that right?
Yes.
I'm looking at you.
I'd never pick a Ratchet.
I've got him right here. There he is.
Oh, it's such a shame we can't see. And Wheelie, which again has caused some controversy for certain aspects of it, but I think I have an inkling we might hear a little bit about that later on. So, so we might.
I'm looking forward to someone get the
Wheelie. We've already seen Rumble. Ironhide we have seen before. He does come with 2 guns.
I love that
so
pose. It's almost like the Fawns, isn't it? It's like, hey. It's a shoot your face off.
Well, with the 2 guns, you can recreate that wonderful scene in Transformers the movie. You know, his last scene.
No spoilers.
For that movie from 1986. You're right. Let's not ruin it. Not everybody. A lot of people are moaning that it hasn't got the yellow stripe down the side. and I kind of get
There'll be
it
a
because
sticker.
yeah, well,
it'd be so
you
funny,
know,
like,
repro labels are going to be on it.
exactly. And
They've already got 10,000 of them lined up, ready to
You'll
fire off.
be paying like
Their
20
sticker
quid for that
guns.
stripe, won't you?
Like,
20 quid for go faster stripe.
£17 for one stripe, and everyone will be like, okay.
Studio Series Hot Rod.
You like that Vajazzle you got, Brad?
What's that?
You like that Vajazzle you got, mate, the other day?
Something about my Vajazzle. What?
It's £17 for one
It's like
stripe.
Saturday night all over again, Brad.
One stripe, please. Just to land this bit, baby.
Sorry, Alexis.
I noticed on
I want the
Instagram
dragon
a
to
lot of the
land.
engineers have toy hacks on their follow list.
Yeah,
so the Hasbro engineers probably depend on toy hacks as well to get that ideal version. They said, they're probably like this. I've done the best we can do. It's now up to you, toy hacks.
Anyway, Studio Series Hot Rod.
Or the share the profits. One or the other. I don't know.
I think this looks all right. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not for me because I didn't like
Definitely
the
into
character.
this. It was a shit character, but the actual model in the car I thought were amazing. I wouldn't mind the Citroen version as well, though. You know the Citroen he was originally?
Yeah, and then like the crosshairs.
Yeah, he's beautiful.
And there's a few more photos of this, I think, coming up because they revealed something, or one of the designers did on Instagram, I think it was, about what you can do with the back of the figure.
But I mean, that's what you find about the movie studio figures is a lot of the alt modes are very accurate and are very polished and very finished.
Yeah.
You know,
so this is Beast Wars Iguanas, isn't it? Is that right?
Yeah. I don't like it.
This isn't a new figure though, is it? This is a
reissue. Yeah, it's a reissue of Iguanas. They're also doing the Wolf one as well, aren't they?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that.
Oh,
K9. There he is.
That's it.
I don't like this one either. Can we move on?
James Belushi movie.
I'm moving through quickly. All the Beast Wars fans are going mental at home. No!
I just think of K9, and I love the fun with K9 with James Belushi, but you know.
Yeah, that's all I could think of when I saw it was called K9. I was like,
but the dog would be dead now, won't it?
Oh,
so,
yeah. No, he survived. Oh no, spoilers. Anyway, moving on. You're thinking of Turner Hooch.
It was Turner Hooch who survived. Turner Hooch survived.
Hooch died.
Oh, shut up! Shut up! Spoilers.
Right, we've already seen these.
Which you find a bit old.
Returning to cinemas soon. Turner and
yeah. It's what we've all been begging for. Transmetal 2 Megatron again, packaging, and we've looked at this already because we had the actual in-hand for those.
Is it a bit small though, like compared to like Beast Wars Megs?
Oh yeah, it's much smaller than the original one because the original one is huge.
At least with a third party, they with Transmetal 1 and 2, they were slightly bigger for 1 and slightly bigger for 2, so they upscale, so that they actually together you can have them and they actually scale correctly.
Okay, so here's Cole Bombburst in hand again. Yeah, I don't understand why. Are we doing all the pretenders at one scale or another scale? The heads look fantastic.
Yeah, it's lush.
It would just be nice to have them all at the same scale. That's all.
Andy,
shown that
negatives now.
Iguanas fits inside the shell.
That's what masterpiece people do. Don't do it.
Iguanas fits inside the pretender shell, doesn't he? Somebody's shown that he actually fits inside perfectly, as if it was made for him.
Who did share the Playmobil? The Playmobil bat thing, the grey thing. That's it. The thing that someone shared on the group the other day, like today, the Playmobil bat thing. The thing I said, "Oh, that looks like Twilight."
That's not one of your dodgy groups.
I think you're thinking, yeah.
Lego, the grey thing, the grey bat thing.
I'll have a look.
I'm not really sure.
I'm not even in the group.
It was on the group, and then
anyway, there it is. Hot Rod in an action pose, the Studio Series one. I'm going to skip through a little bit now because we have seen most of these things. And then this was the thing with Crosshairs, who does look very good. You see photos like this, a bit like Jamie's photos, sell figures to you. That's the thing. But this is the thing. He's got an optional removable back kibble, so you can have a sleeker bot mode along with rear weapon storage. So it's not necessary for transformation. It's optional for the person who's bought it.
Considering the original barely transformed.
Yeah.
Show the screen. Show me up. That is Bombburst there on my phone. I'm sure you can't see me from behind. Jamie, alter the screen.
Oh yeah. Oh, the Playmobil.
Until you learn one day, Mr. IT boy, how to send a picture.
Yeah, that one there. That's Bombburst there. That's fucking Bombburst.
And there's in-hand pictures of the Leader Class Studio Series Fallen as well, looking pretty good. So people have been waiting. There's the ripped off thing. When Alexis says he's been drinking before the show, no
Terror clown.
Yeah. And there you go. That's the end of the third mainline rather news. So we'll go on to third party now because people probably need to go and make a cup of tea or something. So here we go. Are you ready, Alexis?
What?
Third party news.
Oh,
with Alexis.
There is some.
Oh yeah, there is some. Jamie just needs to share
I'm waiting. There's no shenanigans this week. It's weird. Like I'm waiting for someone to
No, there's some third party stuff, mate. Because you sent about 20 pictures just before we started. So
well, I thought there needs to be something, right? So
let's just stick in some old stuff. Anyway, right, there we go.
Yeah.
Go on.
Magic Square Light of Freedom 2. So they've just released their Legend Scale version, which you can't see because I'm right down the bottom again. But either way,
is it not on the picture?
It is in the picture. So it is in the picture. So that has just come out, and they are now going to be looking at their number 2. So the first one was about £90. It was one of the favorite primes that was there. It's quite a chunky prime. It looks pretty good. I'm assuming that's the same one twice. What I like about it is just the hands are quite interesting in the way they articulate. So it'd be interesting. Normally it's a regular prime in hand, so we'll see, right? The materials are much better for their Masterpiece version.
This one is more to do with Primetime Toys, which some of you might know. You can see the name up at the top there if you want to search it on Facebook and find the Primetime Toys Facebook group. Run by Greg and obviously purveyors of fine third-party bots, often that they've obviously imported in. And there was we reported, God, I can't remember how many months back, on the fact that unfortunately, because of a number of factors, they were having to wind the business down. Basically, very sad news because they do a lot of good work for a lot of UK-based fans. But the good news, the superb news that we got from TFNation that has been shared since, is that Greg's coming back. He's bringing it back. Primetime Toys are returning bigger and stronger than ever. And they're actually getting new people involved. Well, at least one new person, or one person who's already been involved. So Graham Moffat, who's friend and fan of the show, is going to be involved now, and as well as Paddy, who we all know and love. Paddy, lovely Irish Paddy, and he's also going to be getting back involved again. And yeah, it's fantastic news. If you are into your third-party bots and are looking for a reliable supplier and nice people, then go and have a look at Primetime Toys on Facebook after we finish the show. Or now, if you can do it on a different device.
Gents, when you do your launch, you want to big up a little bit and come on the show and talk about it, because we know you've been through.
Definitely, definitely. We'll gladly have them on, have the lads on. Anyway, so we'll get that in there. Vans Hobbies Dreadwind, just lots and lots of bits there
coming along. Come into a shelf sooner than you think. They think this is actually getting they've been bumped up the line. So as you can see there, it's all sprued and ready to go. With a little bit of paint and a little bit of luck, that's it.
What scale is it?
It's going to be about 4 3/4, I think.
Okay.
That's the official scale. So
this Samurai Grimlock thing.
Masterpiece, Brad. Masterpiece.
Oh, is it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Looks lovely.
So Dreadwind, they've done what have they done so far? They've got Double Dealer come in. They've done Double Evil, so they are the Power Master Kings right now. They've done Fans Hobby. Fans Hobby have done Prime. They've done Overlord, and they've done the Headmaster Juniors. They're now doing Double Dealer. Sorry, they called their Overlord Double Evil. Double Dealer. They're doing the Power Master Twins, the Jets, the Dreadwind and Darkwing. And they'll probably then do the cars, which I'm really interested in actually as well, because I used to have a couple of those as a kid.
And what's this?
In-hand images of, and this is a Legends figure, so just admire the detail for a figure which is 4 inches tall. Actually, this one's a bit bigger. Actually, it's Grimlock, so it's about 5.5 inches. This is a Japanese stylized version of Grimlock. So they're doing a whole line of not just Dinobots, but they've actually got a whole load of Transformer figures all styled out like this. But this is a piece, this is in hand, and it's pretty cool.
Why do they always pose them with the crotch thrusting like that? Like every time. Is that how? Does anybody else pose their bots like that? Like
I generally walk down the street like that.
Let's go and stand outside a shop. Prominently.
It's just like bam, isn't it?
Oh, there's
Ocean-
Brad. He's
Ocean-
asserting his
Ocean's gotta
dominance
watch
again.
those
If you're going
bastards.
into a fight,
Open
that's
that
not
door,
the first
mate.
thing you're going to put in, is it? Like that's the
With
last thing you're
crotch.
going to put into a
Going
fight.
crotch
Yeah,
first.
just go. If
That's
you go
how
into
hard
battle,
I
like,
am,
samurai
literally.
go into battle. They're not just going to put their crotch in first. You
Oh,
only get one of
dear.
those.
Round my way, mate, they introduced those whole screens before COVID because I just answer the door like that and not get my coffee like that. Bang! At least I've got a screen to protect the people behind the tills.
Is that how you got good energy bill deals as well?
Exactly it.
Anyway, there it is as a dinosaur, I guess. Kind
Yeah.
of.
Dino sword. There's a dinosaur.
What are the bits on the
dinosaur.
back?
Say again.
They look a bit
Look
odd,
like
the
some kind
bits
of
on
They
the
look
back.
like
don't
they look like arrow things that shoot arrows. That's what I was
The
trying
quills.
They're
Yeah.
shooting guns. Oh, what? In his
to
forehead?
quiver,
or-
auto quivers or something like that. Yeah,
I
sounds
just like
that.
it looks like samurai interlocking armor. You know, I think that's
Yeah.
Oh
quite
yeah,
cool.
the samurai look is cool.
Clever how they've done it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there you go. Looking pretty
I've been
good.
to Japan. I might have mentioned it a couple of times.
You don't bring it up, Jamie.
It's my second home.
We've got
on,
Magic
Alexis.
Square Black Ken. That's his name. So they did so they thought it'd be pretty cool. So Ken and Ryu they did as Ironhide and Ratchet, which is quite clever homage. I hadn't shown the pictures because he's got like Ironhide had in the G1 cartoon like 1,000,001 attachments.
We're just zooming into that crotch, aren't we, guys?
It's
There we
all
go.
about the crotch now.
Because it's not thrust out far enough. We need to
No, there's no
bring
thrusting.
it out. Yeah.
So if we friends of the show, people in chat, all 40 of you, if you could just put in your top 5 crotch shots of the day.
That could be very dangerous.
Of Transformers, not of
Yeah, of
yourselves.
Transformers. Jesus Christ, of
Transformers.
Transformers.
Not just the show, guys. not
Is that
just
the only
5
preparation Alexis did for this show?
Well, crotch shots, probably.
If you got a crotch shot, you got a crotch shot.
You get a
You had to
crotch
use
shot.
that
You get a
macro
crotch
zoom
shot.
lens for
You get a
something.
What's your alt mode? Just a crotch? Fuck it, you're
Oprah
in.
Winfrey of crotch shots. Anyway,
Armada crotch shot.
That's it.
that
You
sounds
wait-
like a
you
great
wait-
name for
You
an
wait till
Armada
Paz
figure.
does the innuendo, mate.
Just picked up crotch shot.
One big crotch.
Anyway, there you go. Look.
So there's
Gold
so many
yellow line.
attachments like in alt mode, and you know what? Even my you can't see because I'm at the bottom of the screen. Even my Hot Soldiers version, which is the original like Legend scale Ratchet core class, has got a stripe along the side. If I get the stripe there, see the stripe, see the stripe, see the stripe, see the stripe. There it is. So next picture.
Sorry, I wasn't aware we were moving on so quickly. But you're enjoying yourself. There you go. Next to a Nemesis Prime.
They do weep repaints. Not as many New Age. Now, boys. I'm not gonna tell you what figure and what do you think this is? What sort of scale and figure do you think this is?
It's
Looks
just
like
it's
Legends.
another
No, it's
fancy-
legend scale because the wheels look a bit.
That's a good
Oh,
photograph.
oh
right?
no!
Well, that's the
What
MP,
is that?
isn't it? Is that the MP? No, it's not
Whoa.
the MP.
Is this
That's
some
not- that's
add-ons for
Legend.
like the Earthrise one or something?
Are a little bit interested now. It looks cool, doesn't it?
Hmm.
There we go. That's one for me. Don't lie for you lads. There she is again.
Oh,
This
God.
is again. That's
Wow.
again.
Oh,
So it is a Legends figure RC from New Age who did the
That's
Grimlock,
amazing.
but it looks pretty awesome. Then that's the Grimlock I displayed last week, so you can see the sort of size of it. She's not massive, is she? But she does do a
No.
lot. She's a good bot, and she's £40. So Grimlock. So sorry, no, she's £30.
Don't
The
give away your
Grimlock-
weight. That's rude.
So Grimlock. is so
Never
big.
discuss a women's weight.
I think she's
Really?
30 or 40 pounds. So if you look at the New Age for the size of it, you know
That's
it's,
amazing
It's,
for the size of it, isn't it?
Yeah,
type
very
of sex tape.
impressive. Actually.
Yeah.
Type of sex tape.
Hey,
I don't know. It kind of looked obvious it was Legends to me, and I thought, pish.
That's Anyway, moving on.
So that's been released this week. So it's dropping. So mine is I actually missed mine by a day because I put things in the post. And I thought I'm not paying £7 for that lightweight thing. So that's gonna be my next order. So
Dropping this week like your testicles. Right,
Exactly.
TF UK Con. So we've had TFNation that's been and now gone, and the next one that we would like people to consider and focus on is TF UK Con, which will be happening. I think it's still in May. I think this is still the correct date. I hope. If Luke, if you're in the chat, I know you.
Yes.
I know you
Him
said
and
you were
Gav
going to
are
be
in there.
around. If you're around, please correct me if I've grabbed the wrong frigging poster. But TFUKCon is going to be coming. For those of you who came last year, you know it was a really good time, really nice chilled atmosphere. Just a group of people chatting Transformers, drinking beers, and well, not all drinking beers, but enjoying themselves and having a bit of entertainment, which included us at the time. And I think we all agree that was our finest works. And it'll be happening again next year at the Strathallan Hotel again in Birmingham. And yeah, we would love for you all to be able to come and attend. Tickets are available if you go to TFUK or if you get into contact with Paul. If you know Paul through Facebook or wherever, or even one of us, and we can point you in the right direction to be able to get hold of a ticket. I want to say it's £35 for the tickets.
You get a £5 off as well if you went last year.
Exactly, yeah. If you went last year, you get £5 off for
this year.
For the next one. Yeah. And I would encourage all of you to come along and have a really good laugh. For those of you particularly who found the idea of TFNation and the size of it with so many people a little bit overwhelming, which obviously it can be, this is a much more intimate, much, I don't want to say calmer necessarily, but, a much nicer, smaller atmosphere in a way, if you see what I mean. And yeah, I hope a lot of you watching who are able to come along do come along. So if you go to the TFUK Facebook group and have a look in there, I'm sure there'll be some information on there that Luke, who runs TFUK, along with Gav, will have shared. And there's also a TFUKCon Facebook group, which
I would say it's intimate and immersive and respectful, but not overwhelming, and you will enjoy yourself.
According to Graham from Primetime Toys, he said you have to book before the end of August for the discount.
There you go. A little bit of extra news for us there. So there you go. Get in early, guys, if you want the discount. Yeah. So yes, come and join us. Come and join us for some fun, some laughs, probably some beer, mostly beer. It'll probably mostly be beer, but but there will be guests.
I don't drink really,
so
is there less or more arm wrestling?
Oh, it's going to be some arm wrestling. There is. Nobody will have asked for it. It'll just happen. Isn't that right, Alexis? Anyway, so that was today's very long news, which means we're going to go into straight away to try and catch up a little bit of time. We're going to go into our regular pickups.
Oh, not around school, though.
No, that's afterwards.
We now return to the Transformers.
Right. So pickups. Not including TFN stuff, because we're going to go through that at the end. But did anybody get anything else, either last week in the build-up to TFN, maybe, or maybe picked up something since TFN? Who'd like to go first? Brad, I saw you nodding.
I did a big nod. That's how we say yes in Wales.
How do you do it?
Because we have no idea what the digraphs are.
How's it work, Brad? How's a big nod work? Oh.
Like that. Like you're in a mosh club, but without the long hair.
I don't think Alexis would know that. But anyway, go on.
I'm going to take him to one day.
Once.
All right. Stuff
but I didn't
what I got. Not much, actually. I did show off this guy on the channel a couple of days ago. Nice. Sideways from the Studio Series line. Let's get a bit. There we go. He is incredibly sorry about that, detailed and nice and lovely, and it looks way more like an Audi than I originally thought it would do. I thought the original Revenge of the Fallen toy was a licensed Audi, but now I saw one last week. I was like, oh yeah, it wasn't. It actually looked like an A5 or something like that, the last one, like a proper saloon. This one looks more like the R8.
Yep.
And I saw the black stripe down the middle of it and thought that's not accurate, but it is. Turns out it is. Yeah. The only problem I've got with it is this window. Yeah, the window keeps falling off because the little peg that it sits on is a bit shite. But he's one of the best Studio Series figures. It isn't just a case of when you transform him, you ran everything underneath and hope for the best. There is an actual system to it with pegs, and that's really all we ask for sometimes, isn't it? He's lovely.
I thought that was a system.
What's that?
I thought ran it underneath. Hope for the best was a system.
You can catch your video review, Brad, on your channel, of course. On exillionXLR.
The channel. Don't type in the trifle special bit though. That's a whole nother. That'll take you to a different website. Yeah.
Brave.
Brad will still be on there.
I can't remember what else I got.
Brad, how do you know him?
So I don't know if Jim watches this, but did you meet Jim last week from America? who he's on the TF.
I think I saw him. I didn't think I got to meet him, but I did see him around.
Nice guy, Jim McKenney. He helps us run the TFYTC on Facebook. He went to Smith's, and because I'd helped him with different bits, he actually picked me up a Cosmos. This isn't the Cosmos he picked me up. I actually traded that Cosmos for something else. And I said, "Oh, I've got one, mate. You can take it back and sell it if you want." And he was just like, "No, just take it and trade it." I said, "Funny you should say, because I actually owe someone a Cosmos that I've got at home." So I'll go through that story later. But I got Cosmos. He's delightfully this. Oops, I just turned the light up way too bright. Yeah, Cosmos is amazing, but everyone's seen him by now. The one I was really, really excited about was Override, who, because I'm a Galaxy Force fan, I know as Nitro Convoy, and is a dude to me, not a girl. But
is it a girl? No, hang on, is it a boy?
Yeah, he's a boy in Japan, but in Cybertron it's a girl. Override. But whatever one you want. Let's not make it political. He is the king and queen of androgyny, and I was so excited to get this toy because it's just one of my favorite characters of all time. And it hasn't really let me down. The best thing about it, I was worried it was going to feel kind of new age plasticky, but it's chunk. It's just
solid.
proper weighty plastic, and I feel like that's where a lot of the money went.
And the wheels on the pins, which are just amazing.
Oh yeah, thank God for that. Because if peg wheels, you know what I think of peg wheels.
Yeah,
this show.
You're not the only one.
No, I'm so happy with this figure. I'm just so happy it exists. And I'll probably buy every repaint they do with it. It's just dense and heavy and lovely and is of the Cybertron feel.
Yeah.
That's it, I guess. I think I've shown everything else. That is the pickups. Yeah, I think I've shown
until we get to the TFN ones, of course. Who would like to go next? Anybody in particular? Rich, were you about to shout up?
Yeah, I've picked up a couple of little things. So there was I found out there's a little collector shop opened like about 2 miles up the road from me.
Nice.
So I went up one of my lunch breaks and just had a look, and they had a few Transformers in there. They had
what were the prices like, Rich?
Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Nice and cheap, like me, right? You know how tight I am. But yeah, I had a look around in there. They had a G1 twin twist. I think it was like for about 5 or something like that. They had some of the Beast Wars reissues. I think they wanted like 12 quid each for them, which weren't too bad. And then some of the remember the Prime Masters, the mini Pretenders. Had some of them in there, but no real Transformers. But they did have these little loyal subject blind box things. So I picked up don't know if you can see it. Picked up a little Predator,
nice,
and a little alien.
Yeah,
so they're a £5 each.
Is that its tail sticking out there?
No, it's its penis.
Which version of Alien have you been watching?
It's transformed.
That's not their reproductive system.
But they'll do
oh dear.
But yeah, I just was in there and I saw them on there. And I thought, you know what, they're a bit of fun. I'm a massive Predator fan, so I picked up that. I think it's actually from Predator 2, which is an awesome film. So yeah, bought them. Nothing else in there for me, but it's still nice that something like that's up the road from me.
Yeah,
so
that's cool.
Yeah.
If that's you finished, Rich, is there anybody want to go next? Or I don't know, Jamie, if you want to go last, if you want to kind of like segue into your review.
I could go last. I don't mind.
Yeah, is that all right? So, Alexis, have you picked anything up?
Yeah, stuff.
It's our favorite kind of stuff.
So I will share one pickup at the end because it's sort of like it homages my. It's here. I won't show that yet. Spoilers. It homages my TFN pickup. What the hell was that? What the hell was that? Oh my God, Jamie, don't.
I'm so glad Jamie's in charge of the tech today.
Don't go full pull.
Anyway. Go on then. What have you got, Alexis?
Very much. So it was my little boy's birthday yesterday. We don't take him to the toy shop often. When we go, right, it's one of them like I said, you can pick one thing each. That's your lot. I get one thing and they get one thing each, and one of them like crying because he wants 2 things. And I said, well, give him to the guy behind the till, and gave him to the guy behind the till. I said, right, guy behind the till, you pick one, put your one behind, and go, it's gone.
Put that pressure on the guy behind the till.
Well, I told him which one to pick.
But, harsh.
Fuck
Oh,
off.
okay.
You should have seen that kickoff they had, right? Sam's chasing around the shop. I'm just still going like, you got 5 seconds. I'm fucking leaving, right? Because I've got my
I
thing.
feel like we've had a conversation like this before, but anyway, go on.
We have. Normally it's at the bar and it's last orders, and I've got your wallet and go, I need mine.
Trust me, if you've got my wallet, you're not getting anything at last orders. Anyway, go on then. What have you picked up?
Just looking for a condom, mate. Anyway.
Still not getting anything.
I got this. Because I went to the Transformer shelf. I looked it up and down. And I was like, okay, this is pretty good. This is pretty cool. And they had everything up there. And I saw Motor Master. I was like, oh, I was just curious, like, because it's like, okay, it'd be good for Legend scale potentially, like potential Legend scale, because the Legend scale one's a little bit small, but it didn't have a price on it. So I saw this. This was reduced. I think it was 20 quid, 21 pounds. I don't know if that's a good price, 21 pounds.
Really?
For Jackson. 21 pounds, yeah.
I didn't know that was
already.
reduced. Yeah, that's mental.
Is 21 pounds reduced or?
Yeah, I think it's
Okay.
30 to 33, I think.
32,
Okay.
33.
It's 21. I think they had crankcase. I should have brought a crankcase because he sold out on Hasbro Pulse. But I haven't got a G-Axis. I thought part of my
You wouldn't have had a crankcase.
No, they didn't have crankcases. Not out yet. You mean skids?
Were you there? Maybe. I don't know the names.
I don't know Transformer names.
I just drink wine.
It was like at least on the second shelf. I'm fucking short. So
at least on the second rack.
Fuck off. This was like for my I love the box art. What I like is this box art here, like with all the different, like, you know, that's pretty decent.
Yeah, the box art's
I'm trying to work out who this is, if it's Iguanus or if it's like a shark.
I think it's Iguanus, yeah.
Yeah, and they've got Megatron at the top there, just barreling over.
Drag strips looking cool.
Yeah, I love it. And so this is my IDW, because obviously RC kicked his ass many times in the comic. So I thought it'd be pretty cool. I've got the MMC RC just to hand. Just grab her.
But that's not a pickup.
No, we don't need to
no. But my idea was like it might scale well with the MMC. Like, you know, like it's pretty cool. Like I thought that's my idea, right? She's because he goes with like
different G-axis
MMC RC's
Well,
horrendous.
no, I know, but there is not a G-axis. That's the first G-axis toy since the original, so I thought I'd pick it up.
No, we've had one in.
No, there was the Armada Starscream.
Yeah.
Armada
Based on the Armada Starscream.
Fucking hell!
Yeah.
Does
But
everyone?
And that actually
well,
is coloured
that
more
wouldn't
like
scale
the
well
one
with
that's
that.
IDW.
Living in the past.
Sorry.
What was that?
Nothing at all. Anyway, was that your only pickup because you froze
Oh, fuck off! I saw that. My iPad's delayed. Twat. No, I got something else.
Go on then.
I milk it. I got not one.
Oh, I saw that these were out.
Not two, but three new Junkions. KFC released their other Junkions. So now I have 9 individual mold Junkions. 9.
That's pretty cool.
9. I've got a shelf of them. So
will you take a picture of the shelf and show us?
I
next
will.
week, mate? I'd love to see that. That'd be weird. That sounds wicked.
I will indeed for you, Brad.
Thanks, mate.
Rich, was it you did the? It was you that did the custom Junkion.
Yeah.
I
got the.
with it from. Oh, we'll get onto that. Yeah, we'll get onto that. Sorry, I just realised I'm jumping the gun.
Oh, do you mean?
Sorry. The excitement got a hold of me.
So, so I've got 9, but I've got 2 of the same because I wanted to have 2 in bike mode. But you can like. I think you can change things. I've got 9 different versions, so it's like cool to have a Junkion army, really, like. And they're not bad for MPs. They're like 70, 80 quid each. I think 80 quid each. For £80 for an MP these days isn't too bad, because you look at a lot of them. I'm not going to pick one up because you'll shout at me, but a lot worth £110.
We will shout at you.
110 plus.
Wasn't it Sunstreaker when they suddenly jumped up? Was he the first one that went over £100 for like the normal size?
I think
he was close. I mean, Rich. Obviously, you were looking at an RC recently, and they're 100 plus, aren't they? So so you're looking at one of those recently. So like they are expensive. I think the KOs these days are like 80 to 90. Right. So it's just that's it really. I think that is everything that I want to.
Excellent. To me then, and then we'll go on to you, Jamie, if that's all right. Right. Yeah. So I had a birthday the week before TFNation, so I did get some stuff that I didn't get to show off on the show. So I was lucky enough to get the Legacy Blur, which I really like. I don't know why, even though it's got some of the same faults that the Studio Series 86 version has, it just seems better. I can't explain it. I just the look of it, everything, the head sculpt. So I was very happy with that. I'm going to zoom through these because I know we've
real tempted by that.
Hang on. Have you not done the mode for it? The special mode?
The what now?
Like the backpack mode. So you can.
I thought it was quite funny when you said, "I'm just going to zoom through this with Blur." Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
No, go back.
No, I haven't done the backpack mode yet. I'll be completely honest. I've struggled with time to open a lot of stuff. I was struggling with time with the build at TFNation, thinking, "Oh, I'll open stuff after TFNation." Then the same thing happened again. So I actually only opened that
down. Don't listen to him.
Anyway, yeah, stop distracting me. I also got, now this wasn't going to be a birthday present. This was just something that the lovely Chris Mead had mentioned to me because I was after one, and he had a Earthrise barricade going. Now it is missing one of the shoulder cannons because when he got it, it unfortunately didn't have one of the shoulder cannons. But he gave it to me posted for £9, so I really can't complain about that for the Earthrise molded barricade, which is fairly rare, and it's in great nick. And I don't really need the shoulder cannon, to be honest with you. I think it looks quite good without it. So I got that as well, which my wife insisted had to be thrown in with all the birthday presents.
I didn't respond to your post away because I didn't have the Earthrise. I got the Siege one.
Right. I think it was Paul that was looking for one, but anyway.
We can't have it.
Legacy Drag Strip. I got him as well. I like him. I think I need to spend a bit more time messing around with him and Motormaster, and obviously at some point I've got to try and get him into combined mode. I haven't done that yet. And then what else? Oh, I was after this for a while, and I got Claire picked this up for me from, I think it was Kapow, for about 25 quid. Which 25 quid. I know that the Bumblebee mold's supposed to be a bit bobbins, bits pop off and stuff, but the dropkick.
It's
supposed to be really
it's expensive
nice,
as well. Dropkick is. It was like 40 quid on its own.
This is it. And then she knew I was after one, and it was on Kapow, and she very kindly picked it up for me for my birthday. Her and the kids.
Your wife is like the best.
Yeah, pretty much. And then the other thing I got was from Dave Wallace, which again was something I was kind of buying but got chucked in with my birthday presents. And so there's the what's it called? Creatures? Is it Creatures Collide pack? Which comes with the gold bug and everything. Yeah. Now, the thing is, I didn't really want to get the whole pack because I don't really want the 2 Beast Wars repaid. Sorry, Beast Wars fans, I just don't. And let's be honest, guys, loads of people don't. But I really wanted a ransack. And anyway, Dave Wallace had picked up a pack from wherever he got it from. And he gave me ransack for 25 quid. So there's ransack. And he's beautiful. And I love it. I love the colors and everything. I just think it looks just awesome. So I was really, really pleased to get hold of him at least. I'm hoping we'll get a gold bug released into the kind of mainline at some point. And if we don't, I'll probably just rob Jamie at some point if I get down to his house finally. That's my plan. So that was basically all my pickups. And then this week, the wife decided to take me and the children, but it was mostly me, to Smith's, and she bought me a sludge because I didn't have sludge yet. And
how is that?
Lovely. Mine's not too bad. The legs, I mean, it's the usual, isn't it? You know, yeah. But yeah, if you pose him, he doesn't fall over or anything. My only thing with sludges, right? This is it's a good bot, right? But it's just not very exciting. And Sludge not being one of my favorite Dinobots, if I honestly did a list of Dinobots in order of my favorites, even though they were all very good, Sludge would probably be my least favorite. But I do think it's a very good bot. I just think, I can see why people are annoyed by some of the issues. I know some people have had loads of issues. I think you did, Rich, with yours, didn't you? But mine's been okay. It's just the legs, really. Just with like looseness and bits. Was it popping off?
Yellowing,
that was the other one. Yeah,
and had a bit of it almost looks like a burn mark in the shoulder where the plastic had melted as well. So I like that.
See, that's a funny one as well, isn't it?
Yeah, really odd.
But that was all of my pickups anyway. That was everything I got that wasn't TFN. Jamie, you're up, my friend.
Okay, Doc. So let's see. This is So basically, from Indie Man Toys, I was lucky enough, and I think it was like it was up for a good 3 hours, and then there was some intermittent stock that came available for the day. I was able to pick Minerva up, which is amazing because I think it was a lot of people have been wanting a good Chug Minerva for years, and they'd always been going down this sort of the custom route. And obviously that meant trying to get this sort of pack, which also had one of the heads for Minerva. You know, so it was always a bit of difficulty in getting that. And I've seen so many good customs of her, but to get the actual Minerva, yeah, she is definitely born for this mold. And, you know, the colours are quite striking. The paint apps are good. You know, I think there's still a QC issues with Hasbro, unfortunately. And I think the amount of money we are paying now, these QC issues need to be sorted because they're looking at some other photos of Minerva. You can see some horrendous sort of paint work, but sometimes also the cameras will pick up in details your eye can't see, and it will make some photos look abysmal. So you'll look at it and go, what the hell, these paint apps are awful. But really, with the naked eye, you wouldn't notice. You know, for example, one thing you could talk about is the helmet. You know, inside the cheeks, it's probably going to be red the way the paint's been done, but you're not really going to see that or notice that. But with a high definition camera, taking your snaps, depending on the light, you know, sometimes that will just sort of shine up because your camera will focus it, and because your camera's all digital now, it will enhance the redness where normally it wouldn't be. But yes, excellent figure. I loved it.
Were you the first one to get your photos out as well? Because
I was the first one. Oh, yes. Well, we've got his Spider Father, or is it Melshade? Yes. Melshade. He beats me nearly all the time. I think I beat him to this one just with the fancy photo. But then
he's a lovely bloke, though, isn't he? That's the thing. You can't be angry with him. He's a lovely bloke.
He does wonderful reviews. Oh, I can be angry.
I forgot it's you.
Damn you angry skillful ways of writing stuff using English and good photos which explain things. But yeah, you know, so basically sometimes I actually wait for him to post something nice. I go, oh, I'll use that comment. You know, that's quite intuitive. You know, but yeah, so Minerva, as I said, fun character. The car mode works for her much better than I think, you know, it did for Elita 1.
It does.
Yeah. I was taking photos of these at night, and they're like, you know, then I noticed the ceiling because I'd left the door open, or like it's just like flocks of flies and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, it's like something out of a horror movie. But yes, I mean, they have a box there. There's the sort of packaging. It's nice to see, you know, Hasbro's really using that sort of, you know, getting rid of all that plastic and stuff. I do think with the ropes, though, that they should have some tissue paper or something in there just to protect against any potential paint rub, especially the bigger bots. Good posing. I do like the paint. I like the way the paint works. I like the way the paint, you can take photos with it. You know, it's like kind of like that matte sort of finish. It's not reflective, so the light's not shining off it. You know, so it's much easier to take a photo, especially the face. It's like a matte finish again. I mean, I don't know if that's the proper technical term, but for me, it didn't feel like everything was shining back at you. So you could really put in a lot of light. You know, you could play around with the light. As I said before, the alt mode, you know, I think I don't know if I was just better at transforming it, but it was much easier the second time around, clipping things in. The whole backpack bit, you know, with the screen and all that, basically that is painted plastic, though, so you've got to be careful. You know, so the white bit is definitely painted plastic as well, so just be a bit careful when you're putting it together. But so far, you know, you don't really need to force anything really in. Yeah, and it's a good shape figure.
It does look better than the Elita 1 version.
And there's the original sort of like headmaster, which you could have got when people were using that to sort of try to make their customs. So they're holding head, and I think
is that the original from the 90s? You mean?
No, it's the Titans one, isn't it?
Yeah, the Titans one.
And
sorry, yeah.
And I think what's going to happen is you're going to have third party. Even Gav was talking about it to me. He said he could probably, if I have like an old Junker Titan Return, he could probably put in the Titans Return port, and I could put that head in there, so it would actually work as a headmaster. So I might try and pick up another one if I can, you know, to try to make a proper headmaster, because I don't want to use that one because that Minerva is actually really good.
A new head is kind of more alluring, though, isn't it? She's a pretty girl.
I mean, the thing is, the head's quite compact, so you could almost like transform it and have the little headmaster by itself anyway. No one really notices. You can almost spook people into thinking it's the headmaster.
It's like she's looking at you saying, "Do you like
Take
cars?
Buy me now." Not take me
like,
in a sexual way, but I like to judge.
Do you like emergency vehicles? I can be one for you.
Do you require a wet paper towel?
I'm a siren. No.
She does look like a siren. She's calling you in with her face and her wheels. Alloy wheel.
that technique of entrapment.
Just
Look at my wheels.
Spoiled, haven't I?
Well, that's the thing. Was a bit disappointed. It's like Elite One's hubcaps were painted, white to make it quite distinct. And here it's like no paint. What sort of like black magic is this? You're going backwards, Hasbro. You're going backwards. I think Spider-Father or Melshade. I don't know which. I should always use the total call sign name for Twitter. The first one. I'm still a newbie when it comes to Twitter, but I think he's already chromed his wheels. Oh. Chromed them, not cleaned his wheel. Chromed them.
Chromed. You said chrome. Don't worry.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just go back and no, I have to edit this. But yeah. So it's a good figure. It's good fun, and it's definitely the mold it was born for. And and to be honest, the Elite One's quite good in that mold, and it's nice to see a new sort of mold. Which a lot of the fembots now all seem to have different molds, which is quite good now. They're all not generically the same.
Do you think we get a night beat out of it?
Oh, I'd love a night beat.
A good night beat, yes, we will.
Hopefully,
and the figure.
I don't know if the car mode suits it. We might get its own individual mold for that.
I think the jazz mold would be good for night beat.
Yeah,
knockout mold.
That was a picture I did for TFN, sort of just like advertising. Sort of two Dinobots fighting.
Sees him salami, burning below.
And there was one of my other pickups, which was Scourge, or Nemesis Prime, as he's known in some other regions. So it's a picture I did there.
Those shots you do on the roads are looking really good, mate.
Oh yeah, well, my cat jumped up on it today and ruined it. She's like,
it's a good job there's not a giant fly on there. Fly spray out.
Nah, that's just Waspinator.
I'll just go and share something else now. And open.
Where'd you get your road from, Jay? Because I've been looking for like a road for a long time.
I made it. I literally made the road.
Damn it!
Skills.
I've got some roads for you.
I also managed to pick up
roads.
This little guy, and of course Spider-Father. I think he had that out for like a good hour before me.
And how did you get it, James?
I ordered it for this magical thing called the internet. In-demand
He's not giving away his trade.
You you pay for next day delivery on in-demand or something.
You pay
like $7.99 for like to me as fast as fuck. They run it.
Pay more
run it
for the delivery than the bot. Carry it to me quickly by carrier pigeon. Send it by eagle to my window.
Golden carriage. And as they're coming up to the door, someone's got rose petals and put it in front of the doorway person. And I'm there with my cushion for it. But yes, so there's a little wheelie, and I love this little thing. I thought it was going to be a diabolically awful. I was slating him for like a couple of weeks, and he has got a bit of I wouldn't say he's got a backpack. It's more like got a butt pack. He's got like a little wee bit of a skirt behind his ass. But I love it. I think it's got much better.
Butt flap, mate.
Yeah, well, whatever you want to do on a Saturday night, it's between you and all those men. But I love this figure, and I like the increased articulation. He's got a lot of character, and I was just surprised how much I like it. I feel like an Asia now. I was a dickhead, I was wrong.
We've been saying it for years, Jim.
I was like a Newcastle supporter.
Hang on, calm down.
But there he is next to Titan's Return Wheelie, and I think in my mind I preferred the Titan. Well, this Takada, obviously. I always have.
I was just going to say that's the Takada one, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. I mean,
have you got the Grimlock one as well? As well. Come out.
What's that?
Grimlock Wheelie as well.
Yeah, but who would want to see that?
I do. I want to see how bad that thing looks.
That's like going to watch Plymouth play football. Why the fuck?
No.
But so there you've got Takara Wheelie, and I always had in my mind's eye that he was better, and he has got nice colours. But when you compare him to what Hasbro have done now for like £10 or £12 really, I do prefer the Hasbro version. And there he is on Grimlock. I thought I had to do that just to get that out there. It works quite well. You've got to fiddle a wee bit with the legs. I like the car mode. Okay, you can see the hands there. The hands are displaying, but to be honest, for £10, you can see they're limited about how much engineering they can do with the cost. When I look at Deluxe, Voyager, Leader Class, and that, a lot of the costs don't just seem to be the plastic, but what they can do engineering-wise. You know, and I think this little figure, especially the transformation, it's really fun and easy, and it's yeah. I mean, I can't give this figure enough praise. You know, there he is next to the Takara version, Legends Takara version. Is it LG 29 or 31? I can't remember exactly. But yes, he's good. And then we got Vatchet. Now, I know we always say mini masterpiece, but this is like micro mini masterpiece. You know, this wee guy is amazing. You know, I know it might cause some trauma to some people who can't go over the death scene. You know, there's that pose before he actually got killed. But yeah. I just love the transformation. You know, you can't believe they put that amount of engineering into, you know, a £10 figure. And it makes you figure what they really should have done when it comes to the Voyagers. And he's just a sort of good, fun figure. So I definitely recommend those figures.
The Corpus are knocking it out of the park, aren't they?
Oh, definitely. You know, as I said before, I picked up Laser Prime. And that's me, Andy. That's me finished.
All right. So, longest show in history, but we're doing well, I think. So, I think it's time, Jamie, for a bit of Rohan's Corner. So, we shall summon him in the traditional style. Don't know if the guests would like something from above.
What do we do? It was Riders of Rohan, and then something else.
Somebody suggested it was Drew suggested Riders of Rohan. He suggested we should call a group that we're in with.
We all need bugles for that, though, don't we?
If only we had one or a sound effect.
There was another one, a less obtuse. It was more like I don't know what rhymes with Riders, but it wasn't Riders. So,
okay,
I don't know.
Let's just all go Rohan.
Rohan. To save the world from the evil Decepticons, the heroic Autobots are led by Optimus Prime. He's more than meets the eye. He's a Rohan in disguise. Rohan? Who is this guy? Rohan. The one and only Rohan. Bow, bow, bow. It is the year 2005. Okay, it's not, but who remembers what they were doing in 2005? Crikey, that was how many years ago? Too many years ago to count. But in 2005, for those of you who've been watching Rohan's Corner for a while will know I was working at Hasbro. I don't think I've mentioned it much before. And at the same time, I was also studying at university. You may be asking me, why, Rohan, are you talking about this? This is not Transformers related in any way, shape or form, other than the Hasbro connection. Well, wait with me there, my fantasy viewers, because I'm going to take you on a journey. Back when I was at university, obviously I was studying computer-related technology stuff, and managed to secure my placement at Hasbro working in the IT department. However, I had to come up with some sort of dissertation to write in my final year, 2006 to 2007, and most people at the time were all saying the same thing. When you're working on your placement, you should be working on your dissertation at the same time. You should be looking at something you can do within your organisation to bring some benefit to them, because that will actually help you gain better marks in your dissertation result. So I'm there racking my brains thinking, well, what can I do that's related to my placement, but that's also related to computing, that's also related to Transformers in some way, because that's what I'm interested in, right? So I had this fantastic idea in 2006 to create some sort of forum. It was going to be an online forum. If we think back to the days of 2005, 2006, there weren't too many social media type environments for Transformers communities. It was still all predominantly on the forums. And in those days, there was companies like TFW was around, Cybertron, and Transformers at the Moon is the one I used to use in the UK. T-Formers were quite popular. So I used to use Transformers at the Moon to communicate with the community members, buy and sell bits and pieces, and talk about sightings, that sort of thing, which is still going on today in many other places. But at that time, I felt that there wasn't really an avenue for a company like Hasbro to actually understand, speak to its target audience. And so I decided to write my dissertation all about how Hasbro should be engaging with their customer base to ensure that they're getting the right product and the right bond with their customers, to be able to create some sort of long-term loyalty and engage their fan base so that they would be in a sort of partnership. It wouldn't be a one-sided thing, i.e. the manufacturer building these figures and products for you to buy and not actually realizing that you don't really want to buy this product with this product, i.e. look at all the 2-packs of dinos with G1 type characters, or look at all the bits and pieces where you have to buy a set which you're not interested in of 3 figures, but you just want a gold bug, so on and so forth. But ultimately it would be the case that they could engage with their target audience to say, hey, US customers, do you want more Cosmos, or do you want more Override, or do you want more Hauler, or whatever from the line? And this has been a problem in the UK for many, many years, going back to when I worked at Hasbro, and still is today, in terms of logistics and actually putting product out there on the shelves that people actually want to buy. It's a case that not always do they get what they want. And so the idea behind my dissertation premise was this: let's build a forum. The customers, i.e. all of us, collectors, all the children who are buying Transformers, their parents probably, can log on to this forum and give feedback as to what they'd like to buy and what they'd like to see as upcoming characters and what they'd like to see in terms of design aesthetics and what they'd like to see from kind of cartoon shows and movies and all this kind of good stuff. Ultimately, my idea was very, very basic. It was literally just a website with some capability to go on and create polls and push out information. And it was supposed to be a two-way thing. It was supposed to be Hasbro also showcasing things like the character selection that they used to do, where they would put up a poll and say, hey, which of these 4 characters would you like to see in the next line? And they could do that through this representation. And ultimately it could have leaned on and built further into what Hasbro Pulse has become today, an online shop where people could go on and buy their figures directly, which they've done in the last year or so. Obviously, this never came to fruition. Hasbro continued to manufacture Transformers, and they do obviously listen to the market to an extent, in the sense that they're snooping around on the forums, or they're snooping around in the social media sites to understand what people are complaining about, and reactively or retrospectively make some changes and create the same figure 3 times with the upgrades and updates, which we really wanted the 3rd version of in the first place. Not that I'm bitter about Ironhide or anything, but this is still a very dinosaur legacy way of doing things, and that sounds great for you. Whereas this week I saw on the Transformers Magic Square forums on Facebook that the manufacturer of Magic Square themselves had put out a post saying, hey, I know we're hearing a lot of people are saying that we'd like to see a reissue of a couple of our figures, specifically Soundwave, Voice Ripple, and a couple of others. Trailbreaker and Perceptor have been done recently in different colour schemes. Would people like to see this reissue, and would people buy it? And they're openly asking the question. And ultimately, if they get a good response, they'll buy it, and if they don't, they won't. And Hasbro kind of done this with HasLab, but realistically, that's 2 figures out of 2 million that they built in the last how many years? 35 years. So my question to all of you is, Do you think Hasbro are engaged enough with us as a target audience, as a target market, as a community, as a fan base that have been collecting these figures for 35 years? Or do you think they just don't care? They're just going to continue to build the mountain and hope that people will come? For another week, I've been Rohan on Rohan's Corner. Catch you again next week. Bye-bye.
Transformers, Rohan's in disguise.
Now I can. Thank you, Rohan. That was another informative and very interesting video about Hasbro QC and whether they actually care about us. I believe Alexis wants to add something to this interesting discussion. Alexis,
I wanted to answer this question, really, because I used to work in.
Is it a short or a long answer?
Medium. I used to work in marketing.
Long then.
I used to work in sales, and salespeople know what customers want, and marketing people know how to communicate to them. And if the salespeople start talking to the customers directly and say, "What do you want? Just tell us," then all the marketing people have no job. And Hasbro, who do all this wonderful marketing, like we do on the show at the moment, this is my OnlyFans account. They would have a job, right? You know, all this. You know, if they said, "What do you actually want?" and we'll make it for you, because that'd be simple, right? Then all these other, we want to push all this shit to you, right? Would just fall apart, right? And it's not a case of like,
gee, it sure is boring around here.
So many middlemen.
Jamie, you are fucking nailing it.
It's not me.
I'm right, I'm fucking right.
Brad, are you in charge?
Just about us would lose their jobs.
To be fair, he's right.
I get your point. I do get your point, Alexis. But the fact that we're always going to push out stuff without necessarily it always being something we want, because that's what these big companies do, and they always will. So
I don't want to go on too long, but I had a LinkedIn conversation with Mark Mayer, the other guy Mark on and basically because I work for a company and we're very product focused and everything like that, and I was doing a presentation and I wanted to talk about Hasbro and their approach to what they've done recently, and he basically said to me that they are taking into account, they do know what the fans want, but they also need to remember that there are some children in that audience as well. It's still a kid's toy line, so they have to find that kind of balance.
Hope you screamed at him.
What, through LinkedIn? How do you do that?
No.
Scream.
Send a video file.
but at the end of the day, I mean, they've got a strategy and they know what they're doing, right? They know if we ever release a fourth version of Iron Iron, us fools will buy it, right? Because we will.
Quick question: on when you're looking at a battery port, is the spring end positive or negative?
Yeah, me too.
Curious.
Well done, Alexis. Moving on. Okay, so we're going to go on to the discussion now.
Not doing foreplay.
We now return to the Transformers.
No,
right
foreplay?
after foreplay. I can't believe Alexis is. Should we do foreplay after this? No, let's do foreplay now.
Let's do foreplay now.
Okay, let's do it quickly. Let's not do 20 versions of
Rumble. It's going to be Alexis.
We now return to the Transformers.
The battery is a spring end you put it in.
And anyway, so this is one of my favorite episodes ever.
Oh, my foreplay.
Right, so I'd love it if he just kept talking and he just had no idea. Anyway, shall we get the foreplay really quickly done, like which is our Rumble? Because Rumble is
that was it. My fucking Rumble. Yeah,
Titans Return.
That's what we all picked.
Titans Return. I didn't, but I did forget. I'd only actually downloaded some photos of the Rumble I was going to do straight away. So shall we all just say Titans Return Rumble and move on until the new one comes out?
Yeah, I've got Rumble.
I'm up with that. Yeah,
Brad, I'm trying to do my Rumble right now.
I got a different one.
Batteries.
Oh, all right. Go on, Brad.
So I got Galaxy Force Rumble, or Scrap Metal as he's known in Cybertron, but he's actually called Rumble in Galaxy Force, or Ramble if you translate the katakana. But they haven't got that either. So that's blue. He's a Japanese only one.
It looks purple.
He's blue, but there's also then obviously he's got his little spider tank mode, which is
yellow,
which is frenzy-ish.
But That's actually the one that Kobe converts and has like a normal robot head. If you can see that under there, I don't know. That's the one that comes there. But yeah, I love that. That's my favorite Rumble of all time. And he's even got the pile drivers on him as well.
Nice.
Which you can convert into spikes. There's loads of stuff this toy does. He's got a giant blade as well. If you want to, spread your crunchy peanut butter.
You could take your eye out with that. Trust me.
You could.
Back in the days of proper gimmicks with the toys.
I should be wearing safety goggles.
I wonder if Ed still is having problems with his ears and his headphones, because I haven't been there for a very long time.
I spent the whole.
I hope you're all right, Ed.
Yeah.
We might be laughing. He might look like passed out on the floor twitching. Rohan did go kind of loud at one point during that. But anyway, does anybody have a different Rumble they want to quickly show? Alexis,
someone else get first.
G1, there we are.
G1. Oh, did you have the G1 there? Oh,
yeah,
I kind of feel like we should have shown that now, Rich, because the G1 is a thing of beauty.
Yeah. Fresh from the
original,
Jolly
man.
Green Giant in Wolverhampton in about 1990.
Somewhere there is somebody, Rich, who's shouting, but that one's Frenzy. But it's not in the cartoon.
They can politely fuck off.
Speaking of a good price, Brad, you were saying about the Cosmos, and that you said to what was his name again? Was it Jim? Something
Jeff.
like that.
Oh, Jim McCanney, yeah.
Yeah, to take it back. So I was listening to the RFC podcast just the other day. I will be quick about this, but they were saying about Cosmos that it's really hard to pick up in the US.
Do you know what?
They were saying they're going for over $100 on eBay in America because nobody can get hold of one.
I had a spare. I did actually have a spare Cosmos because I bought one for someone and they didn't want it, so I put it on eBay for 43 quid. All right, because that's below the going rate at the moment. Someone in Canada bought it for 43 quid, but when I looked at what they paid over 70 quid to get it shipped over by the GSP. It's fucking hell.
See, we moan about picking up figures, and we do.
I knew that it's always the good-looking ones that are evil, Andy. You're right.
All right, I'm ready.
Scalping bastards.
It's okay, Richard. You can never be evil.
It's TFNation. They were going for over 50, weren't they? That's the mad thing. Because I had somebody stood next to me, a youngish lad. I say a young lad. Anybody
this is
under
an
the
amazing
age of 30.
discussion we're having now.
And this young lad had his mate run up to him and go, "I found a Cosmos over there for 50 instead of 55," and they ran off to go. And I was like, "Oh God, look out, 50s, 25 in Smiths." Anyway,
do you remember when you used to get called young man, and now you used to get called man?
Did we do Rumble so we can do the discussion?
Right,
crack on.
We'll
do a quick Rumble.
Mine is MMC Rumble, right? So this is not MMC Rumble, but this is what it looks like, and there's a good reason for this. Don't kick me, Jamie. This is what it looks like in robot mode. We have a gun out, and he's MP scaled, so he's pretty cartoon accurate. He converts into a tape which is actually the same size as a human-sized cassette tape, which is pretty good. So
from what decade?
As big as a human.
So, no. If you look at the box, right, it comes with a cassette tape, which is actually a proper size cassette tape.
Where's Rumble then?
Stickers for it. And the reason I haven't got Rumble in that mode is because Rumble actually is in this mode. Pile driver mode.
Oh, that looks cool.
What I was doing with the batteries was this. Oh, doesn't work. Hang on.
You have no luck with oh wait, no. Oh,
now hang on. We're all thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're thinking, brother. We all went there. Alexis, I feel like you keep that on the bedside table. I'm just throwing it out there.
Nah, battery don't last that long.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they last long enough for you.
Well, that's pretty cool, right?
As
you said, gimmicks and Rumble and pile drive. Everyone mentioned it, right? Gimmicks, Rumble.
Are you watching Hasbro? Are you?
I got the right where the batteries went. so that's pretty. So he's on my shelf doing that basically.
Cool.
In front of Fans Toys Soundwave, and he's my best one because mass shifting. So he is quite tall. But he scales perfectly with like Hound, like if you want maybe like the underwater battle, and Hound wears the mask, which obviously
Can I do mine now?
But you can see, look at the ab crunch. Look at the ab crunch of that.
We know. It's got a crop shot as well,
and like the back shot and the back.
Right, my Rumble was Transformers Prime Rumble because it looks really different.
Oh, it's the best.
Share the photos now. I mean, I could share the photos. So I feel like JB's
lovely
gonna.
Rumble.
Alexis, that was actually really good.
Yeah.
Damn you! You're actually sharing something good. I
That
could share
was
the
good.
photos really quickly, but they would have to be really quick.
No, share them. Do share.
There's not many photos. There's only 2, so it's not like I'm sharing.
It's not as good
a hell
as
of
good as
Well, that's why
Alexis
it's not
Andy.
photo.
No, it's not going to top
If you
Alexis
cared,
now.
you would have had a figure. But
Well, do you know what? I don't like Rumble, but there you go.
Beautiful toy.
There he is, Transformers Prime Rumble. Just because I remember it when I did have the Transformers Prime collection, and it was a good looking bot, and it was fun, and the car mode was nice. So yeah, Transformers Prime Rumble, just because it was different, and it still came with pile drivers, which were a nice little accessory that you could just hold. He held like guns, but they were also supposed to be pile drivers. Anyway, shall we do a discussion? Let's not play the intro again. Let's not play the intro though. So our discussion is about TFN, which happened last weekend and which we were all lucky enough to attend.
And remember.
And well, some of us were lucky enough to remember. And it was a fantastic event and really well organized and put together, as it always is. Obviously, you know, there were whole debates about the pricing system of tickets this time because it was more expensive. I mean, I was talking to my wife about it and we were looking, and it was like more than twice as expensive this year than it was in 2019. But then you have to look at the problems we've had in between. And also TFN have explained like the problems they've had as a business with basically no income, but still all the costs for 2.5, 3 years. So, you know, there was reasons behind it. But I don't want to really spend too much time on that. It's more about what did you guys think of the event? What were your highlights? What were the things that maybe next time, if there is a next time, next year, because that hasn't actually been confirmed yet, what would you want to either see or do differently or...
Just, you know, don't slag it off because Dave's in the chat.
We love Dave.
One thing I want to say about
I just wanted to say quickly, the one good thing, because I didn't like TFN at all this year, to be honest. It was not a good experience for me. And there's a lot of reasons for that. You know, but one of the positive things was meeting people who watched the show and meeting people I have interacted with on Twitter and on Facebook, and that was awesome. You know, and I just wish I was a better condition to enjoy it more. And as I said before, you know, I met Mellow Shade, you know, who's Spider Father. You know, it was good to meet Jason Murray, which I think is JM77. It was good to meet people in the chat like Robocop 2 and stuff like that. But things like, you know, Spider Father or Mellow Shade is just called, and JM77, and I met some Scottish contingent that seemed to be around Brad, which was absolutely amazing. At one point, we had Andy surrounded, and we could
surrounded by
Johnny and Craig, yeah,
and
we could stop pretending we liked English, and that was awesome.
I know, I was feeling the pressure. It was like Braveheart all over again.
But those people, yeah, those people bring so much to the community. I think you had so many people giving out free stuff, going around and just sort of like giving little wee trinkets and little toys. You know, I got this, you know, from Jason Murray, and that was brilliant, and that actually really cheered me up quite a lot. It's really weird how something this small really cheered me up, and I think it's, to me, one of the best things I got from TFN. And you know, and I got some balls from Mel Shade, you know, you know, it's a Transformers.
They meant to slowly rub them together. Not
those kind of balls, Alexis, but
you know,
we understand.
You know, so and that's what I loved. You know, obviously meeting, you know, Xortrider, you know, and you know, Brad. It was excellent. Toys, Russell. You know, Russell with muscles.
Yeah, Russ.
Russell with muscles.
The joy that guy had in his face when he was just walking around the stalls and he was showing me this Optimus Prime thing, you know, to me, I wish I'd taken a photo of that, because that was just sheer enjoyment of being there and being so happy with his purchase. And that's like, to me, sort of encapsulated what TFN was about. He just enjoyed being there, you know, and just getting something he just couldn't get somewhere else. And that was brilliant. You know, and encountering other people as well. I mean, it was really hot in there and it was quite humid, you know, and it was,
like
and
it
was
war,
great,
wasn't it?
Oh yeah, and I had
as soon as you walk in, it was like.
I was
They had air
speaking-
conditioning just outside, so when you did walk in, you did feel it because the air conditioning fooled you into thinking, "Oh, it's nice and cool." And then you walked in that room, and it was just a wave, particularly by kind of mid-morning, late morning Saturday. It was like a wave of heat and sweat just hit you.
7:30, it was okay, and then everyone walks in. You went, "Oh, that's risen." You can feel the yeah. It was a temperature because obviously body heat just does that. Go on, Jay, keep going.
No, that was basically it. You know, it was just really enjoyable. I was trying to get my photos taken a couple of times, get swapped in t-shirts because the time I got there in the queue, I was already sweated through. The people behind the desk were horrendous. You know, not they're horrendous.
No, not they were horrendous.
They were awful.
You know, but they were brave. They deserved, you know, well, some deserved the money.
Can I just answer you? So what you said about the price, Andy, and the structure, and I think I understand why a bit more what it is, and Dave can correct me if I'm incorrect, but I think it will make you really wholeheartedly think about who you want to see as a panel, because I realized that I just bought everything, right? I was a rollover ticket, and Sam was going to go last year as well, and so I rolled over 2 tickets and so I basically that equated to basically 1 full ticket for the whole weekend. So I wasn't going to get it back, so I thought I'd just go to a thing. And I realized that I didn't go to most of the panels that I wanted, or some I wanted to go to, some I didn't go to. And I thought, well, next year maybe I might do the early access and I might do the club con. And I don't know, like I might maybe not do the Friday ticket. I might do the Saturday ticket. It's like I might do, because again, depending on what's on. Because obviously, if there's certain people on at certain times, you'll gravitate towards it. I think maybe potentially as well, TFN might be trying to hone in on like who is popular, like what's the draw, and if they got surprisingly, if they got more on a Friday than a Saturday or on a Sunday, and again they're probably ticking people in and out of the panels, right? Maybe they're going to try and they want to balance it as well. But they, maybe that's the theory. But I mean, it made me really think about: do I want to go to everything that TFN offers, or do I want to just go to see this bit and then this bit and there's this bit? If I can do that, I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
That's me.
But it's funny you should say that. Sorry, Rich.
Go on.
Sorry, I was just going to say, like, I get where you're coming from, but just to challenge back on that, I suppose the thing is that we couldn't make that decision about what we wanted to do before the event on certain things. I'll give you an example. So the walkthrough of the script, the movie script, I think that was on the Saturday night, wasn't it, in 3 parts?
Yeah.
If I knew that was happening before, I would have bought an extra ticket for it instead. But because I didn't know what the thing was, I wasn't going to buy a ticket just in case. I'd just sit in the bar anyway, if that makes sense. So I suppose that this is just some honest feedback. If you're doing something,
the choice of a stewed man.
Well, if you're doing something that was awesome, right? And I'm gutted I missed it because I would have loved to see what the original version of the script was. But when you're making a decision about what you're doing and you just say, okay, well, it's ClubCon and my mate isn't in the cosplay competition this year, you know what, I'm gonna move on from it. So I'm gutted because I wish I'd have bought that ticket now.
Do you know what? I'm even more pissed off because I walked down to that. I was going down the club and I bumped into someone. And I went, "Oh, what's going on?"
Fuck off!
No, I was walking down to it. I walked into someone. I went, "Oh, it's all over now, mate. You might as well go back." I went, "Oh, really?" And that was at 6:30. I was like 7 minutes. I believed him. I went, "Oh, fuck it, I'll go back to the bar then." I wish I'd gone down for that now.
It actually
I
was
do know what you mean.
Don't start.
Because the thing with the panels, some of the panels was there was a little bit of mystery around some of the panels until kind of what felt like quite the last minute before you found out. So if you were somebody who was umming and ahhing about buying the ticket, I could see how you might have decided, well, I'm not sure, so I'll leave it. And then, of course, it turns out that it was something like that, which was really good.
So genuine feedback, Dave. If you market it, a lot, you might get a lot more draw.
Yeah, I think.
To be fair, the one panel that must have gone down really well was Gary Chalk's Hustlers University. One where it was.
Bless him. He was such a nice bloke as well.
He's a nice guy.
The thing was, because the experience of TFNation Friday just felt like such a massive love-in. The Friday is almost the best day to go to, even though there isn't as much going on, because it was like such a wonderful experience all the way through. Stop it now.
Well,
It was a wonderful experience all the way through.
Fire lost all his hair.
Yeah, well,
He
was so shocked, was he?
He has
But
gone
it
full
was- it was-
Alexis. He goes, "Oh, I like your hair. I'll do that." Don't go full Alexis. Arrowfire.
It was a great
Did
experience.
he show the
Friday
barber a
night getting to meet
picture?
people.
This, please.
Speaking of pictures, I have shared some pictures.
And he's
in
put it
the,
into a pillow, and he now
really.
sleeps with it. So it
Right.
feels like he's like, because he can't sleep. He worked out he couldn't sleep afterwards. So
Did he say did Ian said to the bar? Ian showed you the barber a picture of Alexis. He said,
go back.
"Do you want your,
Go back,
do you want your
go back
balls
one,
done
go
as
back
well?"
one. So go back one. Go back one.
No,
I love how
because you didn't say please, and I'm fed up with it.
Please.
No, it's too
I
late now.
liked how I was
We've moved on.
counting Andy.
Just keep talking. It's fine. The pictures are just
Stone's
for
beard
visual
was
stimulation for everybody who's watching. Wow, there's some sexy looking men. But like I said, the Friday night was an incredible atmosphere. In fact, the whole Friday, like the afternoon into the evening,
It's my
was
favorite day, Friday,
bizarre.
because it's all coming, isn't it? It's all coming
Yeah.
towards you. I love
I
that.
mean, it was meeting the
Love
people
that
for
feeling.
me.
Yeah,
Literally
Jamie, that's the
meeting
thing.
people.
We've not been through this, have we? And I think, Brad, you probably will because you've been in YouTube for years. Rich, you've been in YouTube for a long time. We've not really been kind of to an event where people know us. Well, TFUK
Mind you,
obviously, but that was a much smaller kind of event. And this was
Not for these
a little
reasons.
bit bizarre. It was a little
This is
bit
the
like...
This is the
whoa,
first year
but
for a
brilliant.
while where I've had it, which is nice. I think Graham I think he's in the chat. I don't know if it's the same Graham. Graham at Primetime Toys. He came up to me and said,
Greg, yeah,
he was
Greg.
wicked. Yeah.
Oh, look, that picture's cropped.
Ben was quite killed. Charlie, I wonder if it was a photo. of
Charlie was
He
with us.
really
Ben,
nice.
yeah.
Charlie's a good boy.
We had
I love Charles.
Ben Zerker. We were lucky enough to meet a lot of people who watch the show and in the chat now, probably.
Yeah.
And actually get to just hang out with them. And they were Pete Willis. And they were actually kind of surprised that we were just, I won't say normal people because
quite a few people came up to me and said, quite a few people have come up to me like over this anti-FUK con and said, "I saw you on Transformers the show." So thanks.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
there you go.
Yeah. And then they
pretty sure
went
you've
to
got
my
more
channel.
subscribers.
Cheers,
That's nice
guys.
too. It's nice that we're
Well,
sharing.
actually,
more.
to be honest, most of mine are dead
I had
subscribers.
the opposite.
Brad,
I had people asking me, when are you leaving the show?
They
You said,
go,
please.
they go, "Hey, Brad, can I get a photograph?" They go, "Yeah." You go, "Yeah." Us four over here.
I have stolen some
Have a
photos.
moment to Arrowfire's hair.
I should
Can we
say,
just
I've stolen some photos from some of our friends of the show, like Arrowfire as well.
These are
just
wicked.
because
I haven't seen.
I didn't take enough photos. I
Arrowfire's
really
not a
didn't.
friend of the show. He's our nemesis.
He's had his haircut. We can let
There you
him
go.
off now.
Graham says it was him. Hey, Graham.
There's
And then
John,
the lovely John there.
another nemesis.
Is that your mate John in the background as well? Brad?
That's Johnny. Yeah.
And that's me. That must be
That's
me
Johnny.
there. Then that was when I was
Yes.
trapped by Scottish people. But it wasn't an unpleasant experience.
Is
Well,
it true,
Scottish
Andy,
people
that
and you,
you-
Brad.
Is it true that you've adopted Borders, dude? Andy?
I've simply taken him under my wing, Rich. That's all. I've simply taken him under my
too
wing.
can
Look at that.
Did Borders get you tablet?
Don't
No,
they
he
look
didn't.
like such a
You
happy
got me
couple there? Enjoying our anniversary. Making
And I made
memories.
sure not to share any of the tablet with anyone. Tablets are
Oh,
Scottish
Triple
sweet.
Takeover. We got to see
Triple
Triple
Takeover.
Takeover. We obviously are lucky enough to know Liam and call Liam a friend of the show as well. And Triple Takeover did their little panel. They did their panel for an hour, which was quite entertaining, which
The
was like
three
a
best
spin on Room
photographers
101.
there.
The only
I met
disappointment
Sixo on
about their
Saturday. He was
panel,
wicked.
yeah,
just wish-
Sixo, Maz, all of them. They were lovely guys to talk to, and so
I just wish you
welcoming.
did something on their photography as well.
I know,
because they're
Jamie, but you see,
the three
I
best
think
photographers there.
They've done
and
a
that would
panel
be-
on photography before at TFN, so I think they were looking to do something
I missed
different.
it. They should do a new
I
one.
know, it's not fair. Repeat
I want to see
those.
Alexis's photography panel.
So Jamie, thank you, Brad. Jamie, in their
Very different
in their defense, Jamie, that's the first time that they've done a live show, so they didn't know what to expect. So they put that together, and we watched it. It was very good.
It's a good idea to do Room 101. No one's
And there's Sex Hair, and there's me.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Andy, how tall are you? You're like 6 foot.
About 6'1". Yeah.
Ian was taller than I
taller.
thought.
He is
Yeah,
so
Ian's
much
Ian's
taller.
taller than he looks,
He's
isn't
like
he?
almost
Still.
6 foot there.
Oh, we
that
had that
camera goes down
discussion.
on him.
We had that discussion.
Almost.
I think
He's
he's on
taking a
his
lot of stool
tiptoes
with
there,
him
to be
every
fair,
week.
or he stood on a stool.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Sorry, I was there. Some people enjoyed their drink a little bit more than others on the Saturday, particularly. But I'm sure it's all fine.
Someone
Oh, the
checked-
lovely
Oh,
Ed.
yeah.
Ed joined us as
I
well.
hardly
Bumblegum
saw Ed
Break
either because he
too.
went, didn't he?
He looked so
Yeah.
poorly when I saw him. He didn't look well at all.
No, well, he wasn't.
I'm lucky
feeling
because
too
I
well,
get
so
to
he
see
had
him all the
go, but-
time.
Yeah, well, you are. Yeah, you obviously being so close to him, and it was really nice to get to see him, especially on the Friday. We hung out a little bit, and but you could tell he wasn't himself.
Optimus Prime.
He's
so happy.
Shattered
glass Optimus Prime he got for £50.
Ed is even more lovely and humble in person. He's such a gentleman, Ed.
Yeah,
he's such a gent.
Cosplay costumes, the people the cosplayers
Stuart Rowe's
look fantastic.
I'm pretty sure she thought it was Stuart. Yes, do you know Stuart Rowe? He frequents all the groups. He's like one of the nicest people you could meet.
Because there was also the little Optimus Primal, wasn't there?
Yes, yeah.
Who unfortunately isn't in that photo, but the cosplay was, as always, was just mint. I mean, the effort these people go to, it's just.
The one comment I found was like not enough mechs.
Not quite Bisto effort, but
Bisto was rocking it.
Oh, there's Pete.
There's lovely Pete.
Yeah.
I still think he looks like a built Harry Hill. You know, Harry Hill went to the
Harry Hill hit the gym.
Do you know who reminds me of, right? And I say it's Pete in a really lovely way. Do you watch Plebs with Tom Rosenthal, the Greek
Careful
thing?
Now.
And the really big, like the guy that's the muscle in it, like who's the who plays landlord's muscle. He's a pretty boy. He's in.
I don't watch Plebs, mate.
He was also in Betweens and things like that. Pete, you look like him in a really nice way. Like, and I said I was complimenting Pete's legs all the way.
Are you going to ask him for some naked photos now?
It feels like it's going that way. He's talking about.
Pete's a lovely lad.
Am I right in saying the Sharkticons were the ones that won the mech category for the cosplay?
I heard that.
Yes,
because they had light up eyes, and I have to say they did look pretty amazing. Oh, look, that photo's come up about 4 times. Everybody loves it. Everybody loves it. That must be what it is. Gav's not even bothering to look this time. And this photo, there's a bit of a story behind this photo, because this isn't, strictly speaking, our photo. This was shared by Simon Furman. But as happens at TFN, the guests just come and kind of sit and have a drink around in the same place where all of us do. And this, of course, was Simon Furman on your far right. You've got Nick Roach. You've got James Roberts at the back there in the white T-shirt. And then Jamie will remind me of the name of the gentleman.
I don't know. That's not him. That's not him.
Well, anyway, and they asked good old RJ to take a photo of them all together, which RJ did, and it's just to see that much Transformers writing talent in one place,
They should have asked me. I was there.
And I like the fact that RJ made a point of taking a selfie of himself on the phone before he took the photo, just so he can say Simon Furman as a selfie of me.
This is my expensive round.
Sorry, RJ, if I've grassed you up there, but I doubt Simon's watching.
I think I was trying to show off to them. I brought everyone around at the bar.
Were you shouting at them a lot and telling them to come and sit with us?
No, this is before then.
Was this before or after you stole the wine?
Everyone else to drink at the bar.
That's really not
expensive.
I actually recall me having to remind you, because you got there and forgot to get them a drink and about to leave.
No, I bought them a drink.
I did have to remind you. And you were like, "Oh,
when we're off air, I will show you my expenses."
I know, because I had to remind you.
Can I just comment on this? We had the lovely Nathan from the Cluttered Desk, who does his incredible customs. And he attended, and it was really nice to see him there, because I know for him it's not necessarily the kind of thing he's comfortable going to, but he came and joined us downstairs on the Saturday, and he brought some of his custom Transformers. And when he talks about his bots that he's created, the man just comes alive, and he's just it's so engaging to talk to, and he'll explain everything. And he can transform them, because I wouldn't. I'd pick them up and look at them, but he said, "Oh, just transform it." I was like, "Hell no, I'm not transforming this. I'll break it."
He made them to transform, but Sure Shot was his favorite, because it was a complete kit bash, like the whole thing end to end. But it fully transforms.
They were all. They're so good, though. They are. I
love the Thunderhawk. My Thunderhawk's my favorite.
Yeah,
I just love the skids. The skids and we paint. The way he did the paint.
Yeah, the paint job on this. God, what was it called?
It's the one from Age of Extinction, isn't it?
Yeah, that only appeared as like a rally car, and then was given a name and a toy. And he changed the names.
Nathan, shout out again if you want to come back on, mate. You're welcome to come back on and have a catch up.
We'll make sure Alexis isn't on, so don't.
I promise.
Alexis kept offering him chips and literally about every 30-second went. Offered him a chip, and he kept going, "No, I've already said I don't want one."
Yeah, I sat down at one point, and you all offered me chips. I was like, "Is there something in the chip?"
It's basically the only affordable food that was there.
They were
good chips, so thanks. In the end, I was like, "I'm going to have chips because I'm hungry."
Okay, in my defense,
I should do one with chips now.
3 out of 4 people drink chips.
If you were affected by Alexis at TFN, call this phone line now.
You need at least 4 operators, wouldn't you?
Anyway, nice to see Nathan clutter desk. The customs were off the hook, and he stayed on into the evening and sat and obviously hung out with the group. We were part of a big group, weren't we? It was amazing, and that was the biggest thing, and it is the biggest thing. And I totally get people who are nervous about going, and I've seen people saying, "I wish I'd gone now," and it's if you are nervous and anxious, it is a big step to get over. But once you get there and you get the chance, like I know Robert Kopp, who was there, and you came and was able to come over and be part of the group and everything. It's just we're very welcoming, we're very friendly. Some more than others.
The biggest thing I noticed on Twitter
about the anxiety, about how they stayed in their rooms as well.
Might have something to do with a bottle of wine getting thrust in
It's
their
very
face.
hard, and it's very hard to come out and actually have a chat with someone. And know that if you watch our show, that you'll always be welcome to come and say hello. If you just want to tap us on the shoulder, don't.
If you're going to tap anyone on the shoulder, tap us on the shoulder, and we'll let you know whether you can go near Alexis.
Avoid the little leprechaun with a wine bottle, then you'll be okay.
Now, my defense.
There's nothing to defend.
You stole it.
There is no defense. You just showed it with a wine bottle and explained to us that you stole it.
Yes.
RJ,
that's another story. I know. It's just
the nicest women you've ever been.
Before we go into the debauchery, I just wanted to say there's a lot of people on Twitter who said they actually did see us all sat down and they just didn't think it was a good moment to come and say hello because we're always quite busy. Please come and say hello.
Don't base that decision on Alexis.
Yeah, and trust me.
Come and say hello to us, and we'll tell you where Alexis is at that moment.
If you're feeling shy or nervous, I am more shy and nervous than you because I had people coming up and talking to me, and I was panicking.
We both said that, didn't we, Jamie? That next year, as much fun as it was to have a good old drink and a good old laugh, next year I want to be more sober and more controlled and actually go and enjoy other elements of the con.
I am not taking a crate of beer with me next time.
It's so good
from the bar.
And seeing everybody and being able to have a proper chat with everybody is amazing. And the poor Dave, who was like all the staff being run off his feet, and Dave wasn't well. I mean, he had an ear infection.
John looks surprised there, doesn't he? It's like he's never seen a camera before. What is this technology?
He's Gala. That's not a biscuit.
Anyway, it was a fantastic experience. I think we'd all agree. I understand people's arguments about the cost and things, but the reality is the cost of things have gone up, and TFNation themselves have explained. I know Billy Stripes has been on Twitter with a really good explanation of kind of what's gone on and why they needed to do this. And the fact of the matter is they still, unfortunately, are in a position where they don't know if they can put the con on for definite next year. So we have to try and get behind these things. And I know it's not always, we might be a bit annoyed about certain elements, but we have, if we want these kind of events to go on, we do need to try and get behind them.
And I agree with. Sorry, Jeremy, carry on.
I was just saying, I know there were certain elements we made fun of tonight in the show, and we're just having a laugh at it. But we know, they've done their best to address that, and I'm hopefully TFN will go on to be bigger and stronger.
It's an amazing event, and we're lucky that we have it here in this country. And we do have TF UK Con as well, which of course is a much newer event and a much smaller scale, but is up and coming. But we want to have all these events. We should have more of these events because, let's be honest, how many times do we go and say this has been one of the best weekends of the year, if not our lives? I mean, it's how a lot of us have come together. And,
So many people that have been there before, right, that I bumped into, like Tony Frussell or John Knowles or you gentlemen as well, like who've been building up anticipation for 3 years, waiting for this, to pounce upon the weekend again. Like, this is it, right? This is it. And a lot of people actually booked the extra day either side because they knew they were going to be emotionally, or socially, drained.
I don't know if you mentioned Bisto's name, but there's Bisto Yeti there as well with his wonderful cosplay from the Saturday.
Oh, Bisto, for all those Bisto Yeti lovers, we want to make you aware that he did meet up with the rest of the YMCA later on, and they performed at Coyote Ugly. Bisto.
I think if they put the price up to 3 or 4 times what it is, would we still pay it to go and spend the time together?
You just go to the bar.
I don't want to, but I would pay it, especially this year. It was so much needed. Like I really like it. It's changed my summer. TFNation has this year.
My biggest regret was not having a Sunday ticket, to be honest, because I just bought the Saturday ticket.
Well, you should, man.
Well, I mean, just even stopping over and those type of things, because I was literally there for near enough exactly 12 hours. I walked in the hotel at 7 in the morning.
I couldn't believe I came down for breakfast and I thought it was quite early in the morning. I think it was like 7:30 in the morning. I think we'll get breakfast, then I'll go queue for the early access dealer room ticket. And there's you standing in the bar area.
No word of a lie. No word of a lie. I was sexually harassed at 7:10 in the morning at the bar.
And I wasn't even there. I wasn't even there.
I was going to say, it can't have been Alexis this time. He didn't rock up till 9:30, ignored the queue, and just came and stood with us. We didn't invite him to. We just came and stood with us.
The most surprised person that day was Andy Wright at 27 minutes past 9 when I rocked up at the bar. I rocked up at the queue. And he's hilarious.
You know what? A photo like this is what kind of sums up like what TFNation is about. It's just like, laughter, fun, very large Geordie men grabbing you, forcing you to a photo.
I've got to be honest though with you. When you're going into that den, to buy goods and that, Alexis is a good person to have with you because you can say, "I need this item," and Alexis will start tracking. Yeah, he's like a fucking bloodhound.
Although I will point out to you that John, good old John, Borders dude, he was the one who found that assaulter for you. And he literally found it in about 30 seconds.
I mean, I didn't even talk about that. I've got to still.
Shall we do the pickups now? Shall we get on to our pickups?
Yeah.
I think we should.
Yeah.
Right, pickups. Go on, Jamie. You go first.
All right. I'm just trying to work out the technology. Oh, I'm stressed. I don't know.
Now you see, we know what Paul goes through now.
Xortrider. No, it's not Xortrider.
Xortrider. You pick up Xortrider, the action figure.
I sold her. Yeah, so I've got this bad boy to open up, and I'm looking forward to doing that in about maybe 2 weeks' time or something. I want to be sparing my time. I've got this Micromaster already, but it felt a sin to leave him there at Toy Fair, and it was for charity. So I thought, I'm going to liberate this guy, and I do love it.
Is it flat top?
Yes,
it is flat top.
Yeah.
Gav gave me this. He's never getting it back. He might have been an accident. I'm not sure, but
no. I think he gave it to you because he put it out, didn't he? He said he was going to sell it.
Yeah,
and nobody showed any interest, and then he said, "Yeah, you have it, Jamie."
And I've got this guy,
Red Cog.
If you got his name, Red Cog.
Yeah, it's tough to remember. It's Cog and he's red.
And I was happy to get RC.
Yeah,
so I was quite. That was
you were very reserved, but as you did say to me at the time, you've got most of them anyway. So
I know, and I think it was my leg was bothering because I was bleeding so much and stuff like that, and I had to go up and change a couple of times. It was like,
and shout out to the TFN guys as well who grabbed the chair for you, the nice gentleman when we were away.
Oh yeah, before I got in
the room,
that
got
was
your
awesome.
chair to sit on because obviously you were in a bit of pain with your leg, and that was nice.
Yeah, and the people at the bar, because they always made sure I had a chair to sit down on. Apart from Ian, who kept stealing my chair. It's been noted, Ian. But that's me. That was my pickups and stuff.
Right. Is there anyone in particular want to go next? I don't mind going, but go on, Brad. Your hand up here.
Yeah, cool. I'll go for it. So it's on the Friday when I got there. Paul Bryan, who is a lovely, lovely man and collects the same Cybertron filth as me, thrust that into my hand, which is a movie 2007 Warpath, which I completely forgot existed, but is just not common at all, and was just like, you can have it. I was just like, what? Serious? He's lovely. So that will be repaid. It was semi-repaid in beer, but yeah, I'm well chuffed with that because I love Cybertron repaints. What else did I get? I got for about £4, I think. In the end, I got a complete movie Breakaway.
Wow!
I used to have the press mold. I love it. It was when what was it? Space Bridge, but just like half off everything. And it was just, there was some amazing stuff in there. And this was £8, so down to £4. And it's perfect.
Was that on the Sunday?
No, it was on the Saturday. Halfway through the day, they just put up these signs going like 50% off all the white card stuff. They've had it for years, so I think they just wanted to shift it. So that was there was so many bargains in there. I also got left the Revenge of the Fallen Deadhead mold of Sideways, £4 as well, like £8 for both figures. Jim McCanny got me a Cosmos when he went to Smith's, because obviously you can't get them in America. And I promised my spare Cosmos to Rob, who had a stall down by Phantasm. And I swapped him Cosmos for Armada Sideways, which I sold mine a couple of years ago and I wanted another one. So Armada Sideways, double headmaster, absolute bastard, amazing figure. It's of its time. Love it.
Very
The
nice.
two I got a Gundam as well, but nobody cares about that.
I like Gundam. Actually.
Also, do you like the Gundam? Do you want me to go? I will show you it.
I care about Gundam.
It's just a Gundam in a box.
I care.
It's 4 minutes to 10. Let's.
I might have mentioned Brad. I may have mentioned it a couple of times, but in Japan, there's entire Gundam pubs, and they've all got them in display.
Have you been to Japan, Jamie?
I have.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I did not mention it.
do they do Gundam at Roll Call?
You know.
Oh.
Anyway, I got Johnny spot. I was looking for Galaxy Force stuff, and Johnny spotted this. I paid 40 quid for that, which is the MoCom release of Cybertron Sideways or Galaxy Force Noise Maze, which is just stupid. I think this belongs to
the
Dave.
Korean release.
This is the Korean release, the MoCom one. I think this belongs to Dave Wallace.
Is that Dave Wallace's one? Oh, right.
Yes, Dave Wallace's old. I know. Afterwards, I went back and watched Steve's video. I was like, oh, I bought that. I did ask for Vector Prime as well, but it had already been sold. I was like, oh.
So Brad,
and the big one, yeah.
We have a Gundam day, mate. You and me. I want to Gundam Zero up.
As long as you dress in that.
Brad, just on that Vector Prime, I actually was watching Theo's video when it came out, saw that Vector Prime, and dropped Nick at Toyfu a message straight away saying, how much will that Vector Prime be? And he said straight away, somebody on the Toyfu crew has actually already claimed it.
Kara Vector Prime.
I appreciate what they do.
It's so good. Joker's Toy Box, my mate, one of my really good mates, Tan, I went up to him and said, look, how much do you want for that? That is the Kicker and Energon Prime double pack from Superlink. So basically Energon Prime and Microman Kicker, which isn't the Hasbro Kicker. Anyways, he said 40 quid. He said 30 quid for you. He had it marked up at 50, and I said, look, I'll give you 40 because I don't want to be that much of a bastard. And he threw in a little Gundam Alex for me as well.
Nice.
So yeah, Tan is awesome. He always gives me good deals, but I don't want to be like stealing stuff.
I've got to be honest with you. Rohan does good deals with me and stuff like that.
He does. He did me a good deal at TFNation.
I don't pay for anything. I say, oh, that's quite cool, thanks.
He just walks off. It's a great deal. I mean, not for Rohan, but
that was up on Space Bridge for.
It's fine. We give him free fame. It's fine.
There's one of these up on Space Bridge for 75. So to get it for 40, I was pretty chuffed. I used to have it, and I sold it when we moved house. So to have it back is like, and that's pretty much everything I bought.
Cool.
Yeah,
good stuff there. Anybody want to particularly go next?
I'll go if you want.
Go on, Rich.
Okay.
There you go.
Sorry, I was just looking into his
eyes. So I picked up the one thing that I really wanted. Sorry about the light in here, but I picked up Masterpiece RC. I'm not really a Masterpiece collector anymore, but I kind of wanted to swap out my Fans Toys Rouge for the official one. So I sold that before TFN, and I went looking for this, and I got it from Kapow. I think Kapow were the only place that had it. But yeah, she's lovely, really nice, really nice. I picked up that.
Happy?
Yeah, happy. She's less hefty and feels a bit more delicate than the Fans Toys one, but I think she looks better. So, Andy alluded to this earlier. I picked up the add-on kit for Rekgar.
I saw that on Instagram and I was so jealous.
So this, I'll be honest with you. I can't remember is it G Suite or something like that, or G Works? I think the person who was selling it. But I noticed from his list he had it on there, and I thought, I'd love to get that and have a go at building it, but I haven't got a spare Rekgar, and the only ones I could see were like 35 quid. So I'm not going to buy another one for that much money. And then I looked over in the store next to him, and they had a Rekgar in a bag on there for 20 quid. I was like, okay, sound. So I went and bought that and got the add-on kit.
Because I saw your collection photo where you had your Rekgar in the plastic bag. Then I went, and he's got the ad kit in the plastic bag. Bastard.
I'm sorry. You know what? I'm not really one for add-on kits and that, but this is so good. It's really, really good. And
if you ever want to sell it, I'll buy it off you. So
well, I think that G Works are going to, because Shooty was talking about getting one of these as well, Dave Shotton, and he spoke to G Works, and he's going to do a pre-order about getting some more, I think.
Nice.
So I'll just reach out to them and get one, and then just get a spare Rekgar. But if I'll message you about that, Jeremy, anyway. What else did I get? I got Takara animated Hot Rod Rodimus, one of these ones that I've been after for ages but never really wanted to pay the money it was on eBay and everything.
Shocker.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, tell me about it. I spent enough for a tight bastard. I spent enough.
How much was it?
It's great. It's really lovely.
How much?
It's awesome colours.
How much was that? 30 quid. So
Whoa!
it's
Good for the Takara one. Richard got the instructions for that if you want them.
Oh, thank you. I have transformed it. I have transformed it and put it back.
Panther.
This was probably my favourite find of the weekend because I've been looking. I like to get something vintage, and when I say vintage, G1, G2, whatever it might be. And I've been after this guy since I've been getting back into adult collecting, and I've only ever seen one with the rotors missing on eBay in the UK, and it was about 33 quid, I think it was. And it's G2 Vortex. Now this one's missing his rotors, but I'm going to try and find a junker or whatever. It was 2 quid. It was in a junker box, so I was just like, "Oh my god, I've never actually seen this in the flesh." And he's actually in awesome condition, apart from the missing rotors.
Am I right in saying that you could just get G1 rotors?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. They're exactly the same colour.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do.
What was that? A G2
Vortex?
Vortex.
Yeah. G2
wow, he's so
Vortex.
small.
Yeah.
So,
same size as the G1.
They have all the Chromaticons in G2 are like I think what's the Blastoff's purple and Onslaught's is it
Blastoff's white, Swindle is like a bright orange. Brawn's like a fluorescent green, and Onslaught's yellow.
Yeah,
so I haven't got any of the combiner pieces for them now, so that's the next thing I want to have a look for.
Are they purple the combiner pieces?
Yeah, black and purple, the chest pieces. Yeah. I got Hot Shot, unless you're in Newcastle, when he's known as Hot Rod. There's a bit of a running joke between us. Yeah, but basically Dave Shotton's got this amazing hot rod shelf, and he wanted to basically add this version of Hot Shot in because in Takara he was known as Hot Rod. Is that right,
Hot Rod.
Brad?
That's it doesn't say it in English on there, but yeah, that's the Hot Rod.
Yeah. That's Hot Rod. But Dave bought the Hasbro version, which is still Hot Shot, and it's on his Hot Rod shelf, and I won't let him live it down. But I bought it just basically for Saturday. Basically, that's the only reason why I bought it. I did buy a load of other bits. I got a couple of Action Masters. I got the Puffer and Road Rage set for 20 quid from Inderman, which was an awesome price.
20 quid
so
for
does a gatekeeper.
Yeah. But the best thing I bought was probably an impulse buy right at the end. My mate James bought a third-party figure from Ben, and he opened it up at the bar, and I absolutely loved it. It was beautiful, and I thought he'd sold out of them, and went back in after me and Brad and a load of us went for food. He still had 2 on the stall, and it's like, I'm just going to buy it, and it's this Cyclonus Fleet Commander, the KO of it's Fans Toys, isn't it? You'll know this.
The Quietus.
Yeah, that's the one. It's awesome. It's got a few loose joints and a tiny little scratch on there, but you know what? It's worth every penny. So I was chatting to my mate James, and he said to me, "Well, how much is you?" Because I've got the X-Transbots one. I forget what it's called, but Elegus. I've got that one. And he said to me, "Well, why don't you? How much does that sell for?" And I looked, and it was like more than what this was going for. So I thought, I'll buy this, and I'll list Elegus. And it's night and day how good this thing is compared to the other one. As I say, I picked up a load of other bits as well. The Refined Robot Company magazine as well, which was awesome. Which is here. So shout out to Ben.
Is that by Wasp Shop?
Yeah, by Wasp Shop. You're in there as well, aren't you, Brad? And
yeah, me and Leffy wrote articles for it as
I
well.
meant to pick one of those up, and I completely forgot.
I'm going to message Ben and see if he will do a digital download of it for people. Maybe it won't.
It's really good. Yeah, the amount of effort he put into that with Lee is just outstanding.
Yeah.
Awesome. I wish I'd seen something like that. See, that was the thing. That's why I didn't really like TFN. It's just because of my fucking leg. It just spoiled so much of the stuff I would like to have done. Just walks
you
around.
were suffering, weren't you, Jamie? Unfortunately.
And
it does detract from an event when you're in pain and you're not 100%.
Oh, woe is me.
Was that? Yeah, it's terrible for you with all your belts. Was fuck off. was that all your stuff, Rich? Then
Well,
I mean, obviously
there's a lot.
you
I think I bought about 19, 20 bots, something like that. But they're the main ones.
Were any of them centenary bots, mate?
You know what? I actually got 19 centenary bots. Believe it or not.
Amazing. Does Maverick want to go next? Is he still awake, or is he passed out?
He's up there with his hamburger out like this.
Let's just admire him.
Hey,
top one.
I have to tell this story when he finally arrived at TFN, and we won't get into that because I don't want to rile Jamie. But when he finally arrived at TFN, I was stood at the bar, and Alexis walks in wearing those sunglasses, in a vest, top, and shorts, carrying a cooler box, and
pretty much. Someone said to me in the chat, I think I had a porn star moustache. I was like, "Oh, you wear these sunglasses, baby."
Anyway, pickups. Let's go because it's.
I want to show some photographs, but I can't. It won't show my photographs.
Just tell us what you got.
Is it because of the skin filter?
They're in the photograph. That's what I'm trying to work out. It's saying Chrome has lost permission, so open system preferences.
I mean, we don't need to know all this. Just tell us what you got.
Jamie,
do you want to go next?
All you do is go share, get the picture, put it on the screen, and then just go share screen.
Yeah, it's new laptop. It's new laptop. So it says unlock. There we go. Zoom, and then
we've got
about 10 seconds, and then we're skipping you.
Go somewhere else. I'll come back to you.
Yeah. Right, I'll go. Oh, you could just have them next year. It's just an option. So, amongst other things, I got I used to have the Combiner Wars Constructicons. I didn't particularly like them as individual bots, and I prefer my teams often to display them as individual bots. So I sold them on, and randomly, I think it was the Space Bridge. I want to say the Space Bridge. It might have been Kapow, actually. Actually, it was Kapow. I remember now because I had a chat with one of the lads who was serving at the time, and basically they had individual Combiner Wars bots, not knockoffs or anything, the actual ones from sets that had been sent back for whatever reason they couldn't resell. So I picked up Scrapper just because he is my favorite, and he came randomly. I don't think they're the right guns, but he came randomly with those two weapons, and I love him still. It's just the look of him. He's not the most posable. He's not the best bot in the world, I'm not going to lie, but Scrapper was the one I had as a kid, and I always saw him as the leader, and so I've got him, and I'm very happy to have him, and he's so wonderfully green. So that was nice. What else did I get? So I was also lucky enough to pick up the next one of my Stunticons, so I got Xortrider. I like him. I like him very much. His car mode's very nice, but I do like the robot mode. I'm still kind of debating how to do the backpack thing because I know we're supposed to break it apart, but I don't know if I like that. But I also don't like the windshields or windscreen rather just sticking out the back. But anyway, he looks good from the front. I don't display my bots from the back, and if you do, you're weird. So I'll put that all over there. I also was really wanting to pick up, I know it's random, but again, a bit like the Constructicons, I sold off my Defensor from Combiner Wars. It just didn't do a lot for me. But the one bit of Defensor I didn't want to sell was First Aid. And then, of course, randomly, In Demand just had a shit ton of Combiner Wars and Titan's Return and Power of the Prime bots that, you just can't find. I mean, these things go for box, especially 50, 60 quid. So that was very nice to find for a very reasonable price. And we all like a reasonable price box. And with the comic book as well. And I haven't opened it yet. I just look at it occasionally and say, "Oh, I love you." But yeah, so First Aid, and I'm really glad to have got that back because it was on my want to pick up list. I was just looking for a loose one, so to get it like that was amazing. You got to pay a visit to Toy Fu, haven't you? Because Toy Fu is, it's such a good cause, and they do work. They genuinely work so hard. That's one thing I forgot to mention when we were having the TFN talk. I was speaking with one of the Mapes brothers. I always forget which one because they just kind of. They're both quite similar, and I don't know them that well. But I was talking with one of them on the Friday at TFN, and he was saying about the fact that they were a few people down in terms of staff. They were, understaffed for the event, but they were just kind of getting on, and they went through a load of problems right before the event, which they had to deal with. Nothing to do with themselves, but with the hotel and things. So they did a fantastic job, all things considered. Anyway, from Toy Fu, I got myself another Galaxy upgrade, Optimus Prime. Now, I'm just on a Cybertron tip here, and I wanted him back. But the best thing about this was £30, and I was still giving money to charity. 30 quid. I thought he wasn't complete because his weapon wasn't up at the top. And I was even sat in the bar saying, it's not complete, but that's fine. And then Rohan went, have you tried checking the box? I went, I don't think it's in there. It's right there. Yeah, it was right there at the bottom of the box. So that was nice. And he's, I'm on that Unicron trilogy kind of road at the moment. I'm just really enjoying going back to those chunkier bots.
The one thing I missed, which was the countdown, Japanese version countdown.
Yes,
machine
which
figures.
Somebody we know picked up.
Oh, Spider Father.
That was it. Damn you.
It's because of my freaking leg, because I went to get my lens so she could carry it, and then it was
I went to get there's nothing wrong with your arms, Jamie. Anyway.
No, I couldn't because
suddenly our subscriber count drops. Anyway, but this was like one of the most really interesting pickups there. So I'd spoken with Brad before the show about picking up a Cybertron Sideways, just the Cybertron version, the normal Hasbro pickup. And we were talking and just messaging each other about, like, Brad was letting me know, like, they're quite expensive now to pick up. So I wasn't expecting a lot. And I did see a Cybertron Sideways on one of the stalls. I think it was 25 quid loose. And I was still looking around, and I'm 100% positive this from the Space Bridge. I spotted this. So this is Noise Maze, as RJ will be shouting at the screen, because me and RJ had a debate about this. But it is the same bot as Sideways, the Cybertron release. And it's in its box. And I just saw it, and I thought, that's nice. And it was 20 quid. And I just thought, £20? That can't be right. Anyway, I had it for 20 quid. And you might notice it's still in its box. I have had it out of the box, but I put it back in. Everything inside was pristine, like it had never been. Like, it's got the little Japanese magazine. It's got obviously the instruction booklet, which obviously I read fluent Japanese, so really enjoyed that. But it's just such a beautiful bot, and to pick it up for 20
box
quid,
in nice condition as well. It looks lush.
And I didn't realize how much of a bargain it was till talking with Brad and obviously the other lads in the bar afterwards, and it was just that's one of the pickups, if not the pickup of the whole con for me, just because of what it is. And he's not going to live in the box at all times, but he is going to go back in there most of the time.
I think after going for so long, that's probably one of the best pickups I've ever seen. Honestly,
I was very lucky.
If I'd have seen that, I'd have lost my shit and bought it straight. I'm glad I got the one I got, but fucking 20 quid for that.
I'll show that again, Andy, because I missed that because I was doing the
next year, lads.
Sorry, mate. It's there. So it's Noise Maze is the actual Japanese character. Galaxy Force Noise Maze, but it's in the West. We would know it as Sideways.
It's actually got better paint. There's chrome on it. And
the paintwork is lovely.
The Unicron trilogy is the biggest contrast between Hasbro and Takara. There's just so much nicer stuff from Takara. But is the box nice as well?
Yeah, and, I mean everything's in good condition and nice.
Andy, stop! You're
turning
Brad.
Like
you're turning Brad into exillionXLR.
We don't have to do that. Really he already is. He's been waiting on that one for a while. Now, best pickups. There's more than one here, but I'm going to do this. Best pickups. So Friday we arrived. Me and Jamie are stood in the bar area. Not that many people at that point, and a guy approaches us both, and his name was Mark, and he basically said about how big fan of the show, and he said thank you for everything you guys have done. He said, your show really helped me get through COVID. And seriously, I mean, when people say stuff like that, it really is incredibly powerful. And then he holds out this, which is G1 Bludgeon. And I took it off him just to look at it. Oh, that's a really nice bludgeon. Anyway, that's for you. And he said, I know you wanted a bludgeon. You've talked about it on the show before. So that's mine from childhood. It's for you.
Oh, my God.
And I was so frigging stunned. I was like, no, I can't. Literally stumbling over my way. I can't.
I'm not a jealous man.
He's gone. And he has to go for a masturbate every fucking hour. He's just super hard.
Which is muted too.
It's true that you should be. It's complete. It's it needed a bit of a clean, but I mean it is pretty
awesome,
amazing. It's just amazing, and the fact that it came from somebody who just watches the show. So Mark, if you're watching, thank you so much. It genuinely, I mean,
I thank
my wife was just laughing at how moved I was.
I bought Mark a pint.
Amazing. So. Shut up, Alexis. Anyway, so there was that, which is amazing. So. But then after the show, a couple of days later, I think it was Chris Corn put a comment in TFUK, and he said, was there any pickup that you wanted at TFN that you never managed to get? So people were putting comments on. I put mine on, and I said, I was really after Cybertron Dark Scorponok, but one of those things he's hard to pick up. Then I get a message from the aforementioned Graham Moffat, who's now part of Primetime Toys and is a fan of the show, and he said to me, "Oh, I've got one. I think it's up in my loft. It's been up there about 3 years. Do you want it?" And I said, "Oh yeah, definitely be interested." So he only went and sent the bloody thing to me for nothing.
That's nice.
Again,
a beautiful thing.
These are not cheap to pick up now.
No.
I mean, I've looked on eBay before, and they're like 50, 60, 70 pounds, even loose. And yeah, he just sent it. So Graham, if you're watching, thank you so much, man. I mean, you didn't have to do that, but it's such a.
I could do with another HasLab unicorn. Just
when you put it into jet mode, behind those two stacks, there's two plastic pieces.
Yeah.
Be careful of those, because I snapped those two pieces on my Superlink version.
Wait, is that only when you put it into jet mode then? Because I'd probably
just don't put it into jet mode, because it's not really a jet mode.
That is happening.
I actually snapped those two pieces on my Superlink version when I changed it into jet mode for the Refined Robot magazine. I wanted to take a picture of it, and I moved it, and they just went. And I was like, they're still there. Like you don't notice it unless you look. But those two little vent pieces behind the red stacks on his chest, be careful. Because that is not a nice motion to go through.
I'm just going to, again, this is not to make people jealous, but just a massive, massive thank you to Mark and to Graham. I mean, it sounds really stupid to say this. We didn't get into doing this for stuff like this. And the fact that people, I don't even know how cameras work. The fact that people felt so strongly about what we do and sort of been so supportive of us, and then turn up and do stuff like this is just mental. It's absolutely mental, and we appreciate it hugely. So thank you very, very much.
My most
you know what the mad thing is?
Skullgrin. Is it Skullgrin?
Yeah.
Skullgrin? Bone Skull. Bonehead. Who's the skull? Who's the skeleton? Jack Sparrow.
Bludgeon.
Could somebody kick Alexis from the screen? He doesn't even know who Bludgeon is, for Christ's sake.
Just taking that
I
shield
think he
off.
kicked himself. He was gone for like 5 minutes. I was like,
just finished that whiny stuff.
Anyway, sorry, go on, Rich. What were you trying to say?
You know what the mad thing is about you being gifted a bludgeon? I had exactly the same thing happen to me in 2018. I know we were talking in the bar about it, but in 2018, a chap called, I'm sure his name was Ross. I'm sure it's Ross. Just come up to me exactly the same with his son and said, "Here you go. Here's my childhood G1 bludgeon, complete."
Mad,
and it was, and I remember saying, "I can't accept this."
Exactly.
So his little lad was there, and I said, "Come on, what do you want from a dealer hall?" And at the time, he wanted, I think it was Titan's Return Weird Wolf. So I just went and bought his little lad that. And yeah, I've come on with a bludgeon, and I just couldn't believe it. And it's just so odd that the same's happened to you. You know what I mean?
It's strange because I obviously that was, I think, Friday afternoon. I think Jamie will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was like mid Friday afternoon, and then he rushed off. Did Mark? So my wife was looking. She thought I'd stolen it off him. She was looking across what's happened here? And she still laughs at me at how oh
I remember taking it off Andy's hand, and Andy wouldn't let go, and I was like,
Alexis was the worst one. Alexis kept stealing it just to wind me up. Also, it's because he wanted something you could actually transform. Yeah, you did transform something. Well done, Alexis. But then I did see Mark again. I was looking for Mark all weekend, and I didn't see him, and I was starting to worry that he maybe had only been there on the Friday, and then thankfully saw him on the Saturday night, and I had a chance to have a chat again and just thank him again, and he was just such a lovely bloke. So. Massive thanks, Mark, and massive thanks to you, Graham, again. It was just, blew us away. Is that everybody done for theirs?
No, because Alexis actually had some stuff to share.
Yeah, boy. Right, here we go. So this is it, right? So I can't see what people's reactions are, but this is the TF photographs I will share because I can't share all the photographs. But this is the one.
Are these photographs actually from your eyes? Because I'm really blurry in the background. I'm just wondering if this was Alexis' vision.
This is a portrait photograph, so it takes the thing in the foreground and then blurs the rest. And obviously, it's trying to you to go do with Cosmos. Here's another one of Charles, the Arrow Fire, the OnlyFans account, and then you, Andy, presenting Ian with the cupcake. Looks like something like that. This is in the lounge.
Oh, damn Ian, he's looking good in every photo.
Here's me and boy of the show.
Who's that again?
Fergie, good old Fergie. Fuck you. This is and so I bumped into Matt. I had his I haven't got the photograph. I was
What's
wearing
his full name again?
Matt Ferguson. Fuck off.
Yay!
Hey. And he goes,
He looks ecstatic to see you, Alexis.
I was wearing his trainers, and he goes, I designed those. I said, yeah, they're really sweet. But the difference is I had to see some like fluorescent blue laces. He goes, oh, why do colourful laces? I said, they work, it look really cool. But anyway, he says they'll come on the show. So he follows you on Twitter, Jamie, because I said I'll transfer the show. First thing he does, pull out his phone and pulls up one of Jamie's photographs. So he's a massive TF fan. Anything movie based.
I could so throw you under the bus right now.
You can.
I'm not
do a massive movie special on this one. Here we
are.
Came
up to me all excited, telling me about how we were all
drinking away. So,
have you got any bots in these pictures?
Probably.
You know, this is the pickup.
There's a bottle. There's a bottle there. There's a bottle.
That's not the kind of bot we're talking.
There's a real sight there. John smiling.
Oh, leave him alone.
I think he just had a fruit shoot, so he was happy.
This girl, Lindsay. Lindsay, fan of the show. Again on Twitter. Again, knows Jamie. So my homage. Hey, it's in the right place. So it's not too high, not too low. It's just right. Goldilocks zone. So
I don't know. Look at that thumb.
It's creeping up. I heard Lindsay Rousseau was really lovely. I didn't actually go to see her.
Can you see Gary Chalk in the background counting his £20 notes?
Oh, we almost went the whole show with that. And then also we got
he's one for a group of all of us there. So
yeah,
the whole
keep
show
moving.
Together.
We're running out of time, Alexis. Keep moving.
Are
there any actual pictures of bots here, or are we just literally showing you?
Here's the end of the night with the bottle of wine. Went to casino.
Where did that
fucking move on?
Move on before the police.
And here's my pickups. So my pickup is a Lindsay Russo photograph signed. I thought I'd do a little homage. I did my little mini Velocitron race squad there, and we got the
hang about which ones are your actual TFN pickup? Is it just a picture?
Gav's in the comments like, fucking hell, I've been around all day like, and it's still fucking going.
Mate, we know Paul's not here. We're going rogue.
It's a signed photograph.
Fucking 3 days, like.
Gav, you'll be finished if you've been watching this. It's probably about 1 a.m. now. So
I'm gonna do some more photographs because I've got the old chaos. So
we're not going through all the photographs. We need to finish the show.
Actually, give him the credit. No, Alexis, you fucking go on, mate, because you've been quiet and you'll listen to everyone else. So you go for it.
Because he wasn't there for 5 minutes. That's why he was quiet, Jamie. Don't give him credit for
I'll do photographs.
You went for a crap.
So I got a really cool autograph from Lindsay. I'm going to do a bit of a thing on the... I'll stop sharing. How do I stop sharing? Go back to...
Just close it, Nate. That's all.
No, hang on. I'll go back to... Okay. I'll do a thing on this figure here. The Elite 1, which is pretty cool. It came in the post today. So it was part of a pickup spot. Because of... I got the photograph from Lindsay. I wanted to do like a little bit of a homage from to her, and
she'll appreciate it.
So I'll do that, and I'll post those online. I'll put my Twitter and stuff. I also got from Rohan. I got some Legends Jazz components and Menasor components. So I've got the key to Vector Sigma, Legends Scale, and the backpack for the Menasor combined mode. And I've got some jazz hands, literally jazz hands for. Jazz, who is there underneath Bruscus. So I've got some hands for him, and then the last thing I got, is Arafai still in the chat, or is he fucked off?
I don't think he is because I asked him. He was there a second ago. He's gone.
Well,
I think
Ian, if you're watching, you're in on this one, mate. I want to do I've got a new Bruscus kit, so Tiger Blade Labs finally completed my monstrosity of combined limbs, MMC limbs. Zeta torso. The hips finally came in the post after 6 months on the fucking ship, but he's painted the whole thing up. It looks fucking amazing. So I'm going to do a little bit of a comparison between MMC combined mode full on, Zeta combined mode full on, but too accurate painted, and then a hybrid of the torso of Zeta and then the limbs of MMC with 3D printed bits and pieces. Again, too accurate. So, Ian, you're in on that because you've got a wonderful video on your channel. Check out Arafire. And I probably, I might get a few guys on that, but it'd be a 15-minute thing. So if you're
we've
free
been there before.
on a Wednesday,
Was that a chat up line?
No,
Yeah.
no.
That's how I took it.
15.
If you're free in the next 2 weeks on the Wednesday, probably, or Thursday, depends on what my D&D is. Come cool. We'll get you live. We'll do that, right? We'll do a live reveal.
We're done here,
and then, by the way,
Jamie, is it time to wrap up the show?
It's from Peru. It's never been over here, so
from
it's
where?
very rare. This kit.
Peru.
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 It's like Paddington fucking Bear, mate.
Is he from Peru?
Yeah, he's from Peru,
of course he is.
Is he really?
Bear's from Peru, yeah.
Yeah.
I know, you wouldn't have guessed it, would you?
Mate.
He hasn't got the accent.
You can't make
Welsh history doesn't cover that.
And by the way, if anyone wants a
Key
pair
part
of
of
Tony
ours.
Stark porn star glasses, Amazon Prime, $5.99.
They work
You
as well.
look like a budget version of a person going into Love Island.
Don't make me spit my computer.
Love Island Rejects.
Don't. That's fine. All weekend, everyone goes, they're really cool. And my wife fucking hates them, which means I fucking love
I
them.
can't imagine why, Alexis.
Good night, guys.
Right, thank you very much for joining us. It's been a long one, but we hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks to all the TF Nation crew.
We're going to do a TF the show meetup at some point. We will hook up with you people at some point.
Oh, yeah.
We'll work it out.
That's why Alexis is
Jamie, for the love of God,
too far away. TF Con, which we haven't. TF Con is too far away. So we'll do a TF the show meetup to meet all you wonderful people that we didn't get a chance to meet.
Fucking discuss this.
Nobody has discussed this.
We
You've
would love
literally
to
just
meet
gone
you.
completely rogue and made stuff
Yeah,
up.
He just wants
He's
more
making
people
stuff
playing
up,
wine
people.
on it.
Maybe not at Andy's
Don't
house.
listen to
he
him.
just said
He's
no.
not.
Maybe
He's absolutely
Jamie's house.
bonkers.
Someone's
I'm not
house,
letting him in
Brad's
my house.
He's offering houses.
We'll work it out.
He's lying.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Nobody wants to come to Wales, Alexis.
I do. You're there.
We'll all have a big
Oh,
meet up in
dragons.
Llandudno. Anyway, right. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking with us to the end, if you did stick with us to the end. Check us out on Facebook at Transformers The Show. We don't do this anymore, do we? Jamie, where are you? What are you on Twitter?
What's your Twitter?
Oh, because normally we have this stuff up. We don't.
Hey!
Let's
Or the
Instagram.
new-
Let's
The
Instagram.
new version.
Yeah, that'll do. That,
Let's
either
Instagram.
way, either or. So TF Show UK on Twitter, TF UK. And if you go on Instagram, you'll see that we never very rarely post. Anyway, that's
Oh, I forgot to share.
no, we don't need any more.
We're
We're finishing.
Goodbye, everyone.
Good night, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Bless you all.
Cheers.
Bless
Bye,
you all.
guys.
Bye.